Chapter 304. Retracting his finger, Daoist Jin Huang's eyes widened as he roared, "Impossible! How could Sky Cloud Martial School have this kind of background? Impossible! Who are you? Why are you meddling in this matter? My Floating Mountain Martial School has no enmity with you. Please don't do anything." Daoist Jin Huang couldn't sense the aura of the owner of the huge hand at all. Therefore, there were only two possibilities. First, the opponent had entered the Sea of Soul's realm, and his Jin Yuan had turned into an ocean, returning to the origin. Second, the opponent had entered the even more frightening life and death realm. Once one entered the life and death realm, the difference between heaven and earth would be completely different. Regardless of which possibility it was not something that Daoist Jin Huang could contend against. The former was still manageable, since at least the Floating Mountain School had Sea of Soul's realm warriors, and not just one or two of them. However, if it was the latter, then the entire Floating Mountain School would not even be able to withstand one finger of the opponent. Life and Death Realm warriors were called kings, and it was not without reason. They were the kings of the martial artists, and represented the world's will of the true spirit continent. Without Life and Death Realm warriors, no matter how powerful one was, it would be useless. The speed of the huge hand was not that fast, as if its owner was not serious. However, in Daoist Jin Huang's eyes, the sky was no longer the sky, and the earth was no longer the earth. The mountains behind Sky Cloud Martial School were all under the control of the huge hand. Seeing that the opponent had no intention of stopping, Daoist Jin Huang's heart was filled with boundless fear. Not caring about the Huang Thunder Beast and Sikong Sheng, he extended his body and flew away at an extreme speed. With a flicker, he appeared 7 to 8 li away, like a small sun that was constantly jumping. Humph! With a cold snort, the thumb and index finger of the sky-covering hand began to close together. When it was only 10 feet away, the fleeing Daoist Jin Huang seemed to have walked right into a trap. He was imprisoned within, unable to move or even struggle. "I am not willing. These people are only ants. I will kill them if I want to." Daoist Jin Huang mustered his remaining strength, burning his Jin Yuan fiercely, trying to escape. Everyone from the Sky Cloud Martial School was stupefied. The previously insufferably arrogant Daoist Jin Huang was currently being clamped by two sky-reaching fingers. His face was full of fright and anger, as if he was a headless fly, which brought a huge contrast to their vision. They all thought, who is the owner of this sky-covering hand? Even a late astral reaching expert has been casually pinched by him. This level of strength is already not something that can be imagined. "Don't worry, I won't kill you with my own hands. You're not worth my life. Now, get the hell out of the Sky Cloud Martial School, get the hell out of the Windy Nation. If you dare to take another step forward in this life, you will die for sure. Also, go back and tell the leader of the Floating Mountain sect that this is just a small warning. If he dares to offend you again, the Floating Mountain sect will be destroyed, and the 10,000 years of foundation of the Azure Emperor and the Stone Emperor will be destroyed. Do you hear me?" Only Daoist Jin Huang could hear the voice of the owner of that sky-covering hand. However, it was not a human voice, but the sound of the air vibrating. It was similar to Jinqi sound transmission, but 10 times more advanced than Jinqi sound transmission. Astral-reaching realm warriors would never be able to do it. "You won't kill me." Daoist Jin Huang stopped struggling. He knew that no matter how hard he struggled, it would be useless. If the opponent wanted to kill him, it would only take a single thought. His evil eyes landed on Yi Chen's body. Daoist Jin Huang sneered inwardly, "So it is not because of your backer. If you were, you would not let me go, because if you let me go, once Yi Chen leaves the Windy Nation, I would be able to hunt him down." Anyway, the owner of that sky-covering hand did not say that he was not allowed to kill Yi Chen, he only said that he was not allowed to enter the Windy Nation. It seems like the gods want you dead. Within 5 years, you will never have the power to fight against me. And if you want to continue growing, you will have to leave the Windy Nation. This is an endless cycle, there is only death. How about I let you go for now?" Although Daoist Jin Huang was afraid of Yi Chen's potential, he did not think that Yi Chen would be able to surpass him within 5 years. There would be plenty of chances to kill him, there was no need to risk his own life. "Senior, I promise that I will never step into the Windy Nation or the Sky Cloud Martial School for the rest of my life. Daoist Jin Huang said with a loud voice. The huge hand made of Yuan Qi loosened, and the air around Daoist Jin Huang's ears vibrated again. Piss off. I might change my mind at any time. Hearing him, Daoist Jin Huang's expression changed. He seemed to be afraid that the owner of the huge hand would change his mind and kill him for good. He hurriedly jumped onto the back of the thunder beast and commanded it to fly away. Within a blink of an eye, they disappeared into the clouds. You didn't kill him? It would be a lie if Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer said that they were not disappointed. Of course, they did not dare to complain about the owner of the huge hand. Without him, the Sky Cloud Martial School would have been completely destroyed. There would not have been a second possibility. A late astral reaching realm warrior from a rank 6 martial school would already be considered as a top warrior in the whole South Rudra region. Under the Sea of Souls realm, he would be above hundreds of thousands of people. Not good. I can't control my Jin Yuan anymore. Although he had relaxed a bit, Cloud Dreamer still could not control his own Jin Yuan. Once his Jin Yuan exploded, there would be nothing left of him, and everything within 10 miles would be destroyed. This was a secret art that he had obtained by chance. Once he used it, there would be no way to change it. Thunder Freer noticed the aura that was about to explode from Cloud Dreamer's body, so he was shocked. Cloud Dreamer had told him about this secret art. This time, he had to use it during the battle with Daoist Jin Huang. However, Daoist Jin Huang had already left, so his death would be meaningless. Shoo! Something strange happened. One of the fingers of the huge hand reached out and lightly touched on Cloud Dreamer's protective Jin Yuan. The wind started to blow, and the clouds disappeared. The next second, Cloud Dreamer's aura disappeared, and the Jade Destruction secret art returned to its original state. The explosive aura disappeared completely. Thank you, Senior. Cloud Dreamer cupped his fists and bowed toward the huge hand. The air vibrated. No need to thank me. Actually, I wanted to save Yi Chen. But, Yi Chen's relationship with the Sky Cloud Martial School was too deep. This whole thing was caused by him. Senior, how can I not thank you? Cloud Dreamer obviously could not just say no, since the other had not only saved him, but the entire Sky Cloud Martial School. Even if the other asked him to kill himself right now, he would do it. The Sky Cloud Martial School was in his hands, and this kind of feeling was not something normal people could understand. The owner of the huge hand did not say anything, and his voice moved to Yi Chen's ears. Are you wondering why I didn't kill Daoist Jin Huang? The blood explosion art disappeared automatically. Yi Chen's body was covered in blood as he said weakly, Senior, you should have your own plan. Yi Chen can guess a little bit. Oh, tell me. Senior, you want me to take revenge myself and get rid of my inner demon. The air vibrated a bit unsteadily. Hihi, you are right. I did have this intention. The path of a warrior is to overcome all obstacles, and no impurities can be tolerated. Today's incident had a great impact on you. If you could not kill Daoist Jin Huang yourself, it would be a huge hindrance to your cultivation. Plus, you are a sword artist who had comprehended the sword intent, so you could not back down. Killing Daoist Jin Huang was like helping you choose to back down. This is not what I want to see, nor is it what you want to see. Therefore, you can take Daoist Jin Huang's life. As for whether you can kill him or not, it will depend on your own ability. I will not help you for the same thing twice. Yi Chen said, Thank you Senior for your help. I will kill Daoist Jin Huang with my own hands, and no one can stop me. As for his death, it means that I am not qualified to step into a higher realm. Very good. I like your calmness. I hope you can keep it up. Do not be blinded by hatred. The path of a warrior is not just about hatred. Senior, you are? Don't ask, and don't think about it. I will tell you when I need to. I have my reasons for not telling you, and it is also the reason why I did not show up. Yi Chen is too reckless. You are badly wounded. The minor blood demon body separating great art is not a secret skill for warriors. It is an incomplete secret skill created by the blood demon master based on the blood demon doppelganger. Without the doppelganger, every time you use it, You will lose your qi and blood. Normal medicines will not be able to help you recover completely. You will have to deal with this yourself. I will not give you any material help. Yi Chen knows. The minor blood demon body separating great art was a huge burden on the body. Although the qi and blood that was consumed could be replenished by the blood sunflower, the blood sunflower was not omnipotent. It could be used once or twice, but if it was used too many times, then it would have to be nurtured for a while. Otherwise, there would be a horrifying side effect. This time, in order to fight against Daoist Jin Huang, Yi Chen had even performed the ultimate skill of the minor blood demon body separating great art, the blood explosion great art. It was almost as powerful as the major blood demon body separating great art, but the side effect was extremely huge. If it were not for the fact that Yi Chen's body was extremely powerful, and that he had trained the pure jade body boosting spell to the 5th level, the King Kong jade body boosting spell, he would have been crippled even if he did not die. As for the help from the owner of the sky-covering palm, Yi Chen had never thought about it. Everyone's path of being a martial artist was right under their feet, and others would not be able to help them. If they helped him, then they might end up harming him instead. If one did not understand the pain, then how could one understand the sweetness after the pain? Of course, Yi Chen was not worried about the side effects, since he still had a 3,000 years old blood sunflower in his storage ring, which was 10 times more powerful than the 1,000 years old one. As long as his qi and blood did not run out, it would not be a big problem to get rid of the side effects. However, Xu Jing's injury was giving him a headache. The broken bones in her arm and the broken bones in her arm were two completely different things. Without great treasures, it would be very hard to heal. He could imagine the pain of having a whole bone broken into countless pieces. The owner of the sky-covering palm seemed to have guessed Yi Chen's thoughts. I will not help that girl with the broken bones in her arm either. She is very talented, and has a great chance to achieve great things in the future. This is not a bad thing for her. In fact, have you realized that the whole Sky Cloud Martial School has changed because of this? This is the rise of the Sky Cloud Martial School. It is the beginning of the Sky Cloud Martial School's rise. Yi Chen nodded. During that bloody battle, he was very touched by what people from the Sky Cloud Martial School had done. They were obviously very weak and could not help at all, but they still stood out without any hesitation, willing to live and die with the Sky Cloud Martial School. This kind of fearlessness was not something that a powerful martial school could achieve. He believed that in the future, the Sky Cloud Martial School would definitely grow and become a super martial school in the South Rudra region. Since this is done, I will not stay any longer. Remember, the path of a martial artist is like sailing against the current. Only by keeping your heart will you be able to move forward. The sky-covering palm disappeared, and the voice disappeared slowly. Taking a deep breath, Yi Chen turned around to look at the crowd. In his sight, everyone was looking at him, and he was also looking at them. The eye contact did not require words. This is my second home. As the thought flashed through his mind, Yi Chen raised his head and fell down from the sky. It was a miracle for him to be able to last until now. But now, the miracle was over. Chapter 305. Shocking Cloud Peak. Inside a spacious room, Yi Chen, who was wrapped in bandages, crawled out of bed. He was already 18 years old, but he was no longer childish. His slightly skinny body was not weak at all. The tightly wrapped bandages showed his well-defined muscles, which were full of explosive power. It was as if his body was made of steel. He raised his arm, but it was still weak. This was a sign of excessive loss of qi and blood, and a great loss of vitality. Yi Chen shook his head and thought to himself, the blood explosion spell is too powerful. It made me unconscious for 7 days and 7 nights. Fortunately, my body was strong enough, so I did not lose my qi and blood, and my meridians were not destroyed. Otherwise, it would not be easy to recover. Yi Chen had not used the 3,000-year-old blood sunflower yet, so he was not sure how effective it was. He planned to use it in a day or two when he was full of energy. Pushing open the door, Yi Chen came to the yard. The courtyard was no different from an ordinary family's courtyard. It wasn't too big, and it wasn't extravagant either. Opposite it was a flower bed with dozens of beautiful flowers, including a few young blood sunflowers. Next to the flowerbed was a row of sunflowers. They were taller than the courtyard wall, and they were in full bloom facing the blazing sun. Bang bang. After standing in the yard for a while, there was a knock on the door. Looking away, Yi Chen said, "Come in." Creak. The yard door, which was not locked, opened. Zhong Haoren and Wu Zongming walked in. "Yi Chen, are you all right?" It was Wu Zongming's first time coming to the shocking Cloud Peak. He looked around and found that other than the Great Elders' Hall, the other buildings were very ordinary. They could not even be considered as the mansion of an ordinary landlord. Yi Chen smiled and said, "It's you too." "I'm all right." Wu Zongming laughed. "It's good that you're all right. I thought there would be some side effects." That day, Yi Chen looked too scary. He was covered in blood, and his muscles were cracked. The loss of qi and blood made Wu Zongming wonder if Yi Chen had that much qi and blood. At this moment, Zhong Haoren said, "I'm here to apologize." "Apologize for what?" Yi Chen was surprised. Wu Zongming interrupted, "He's a stubborn man. We had a grudge in the past and he always wanted to apologize. In my opinion, apologizing between men is too mushy. Besides, it's been so long. Why would we care about each other's frivolity when we were young? 14 or 15 years old was the most impulsive age. At that age, they were very competitive and aggressive. It was inevitable that there would be conflicts and friction. If they were not careful, they would become enemies. Fortunately, there was not much conflict between the three of them. They just disagreed with each other." Yi Chen smiled. "Wu Zongming is right. Everyone is frivolous." Zhong Haoren said seriously, "It's different this time. It's an official apology." "All right, I accept your apology." When dealing with a stubborn person, Yi Chen could not be in a deadlock with him, so he accepted the other party's apology. The three of them drank some tea and chatted casually. After about an hour, the two of them bid farewell. As soon as Zhong Haoren and Wu Zongming left, Luo Hanshan, Zhumai and Xu Jing arrived. "Yi Chen, are you all right?" Luo Hanshan asked. "Except for a bit of weakness, I'm fine." Yi Chen's wounds were actually quite serious. But of course, with the help of the 3,000 years old blood sunflower, it was indeed not a big deal. He looked at Xu Jing and saw that her arms were wrapped in bandages, hanging weakly on her waist. Yi Chen said gently, "Does it hurt?" Xu Jing's face blushed slightly, "Not at all." Yi Chen didn't say anything to express his gratitude. He knew that it would be too polite, and she would not want to hear it either. True gratitude did not need to be expressed, as long as it was in his heart, it was enough. Taking out 10 800 years old blood sunflowers and 2,000 years old blood sunflowers from his storage ring, Yi Chen said, "You are cultivating a body-strengthening art, which requires enough qi and blood. These blood sunflowers are very beneficial to your qi and blood, so don't say no." After saying that, he grabbed Xu Jing's slim hand and put the blood sunflowers into her storage ring. Xu Jing lowered her head and bit her lower lip. Seeing this, a smile appeared on Zhumai's face. It was a smile that contained a trace of envy. Not good. Holding Xu Jing's soft and boneless hand, Yi Chen wanted to check her injury. Her arm was almost boneless, and it was only connected by her qi and blood, so it was hard to describe how soft and boneless it was. If an ordinary martial artist were to suffer such a serious injury, they would basically be ruined for the rest of their lives. Fortunately, Xu Jing had been cultivating a body-strengthening art, which gave her a powerful qi and blood. Therefore, the broken bones were healing at an almost imperceptible speed. However, if the bones were to heal on their own, it would take at least 3 to 5 years for them to fully recover. Moreover, even if they were fully healed, they would not be able to do any strenuous exercises, not to mention training martial arts. Frowning, Yi Chen was thinking about going out to look for some natural treasures that could heal bones. Although these natural treasures were even rarer than the 3,000 years old blood sunflowers, they were still available. But of course, it was not the right time yet. He was still too weak, and he had a powerful enemy like Jin Huang. Without being fully prepared, he would not be able to leave the Windy Nation for the time being. Luo Hanshan winked at Yi Chen and said, "Zhumai and I still have something to do. You guys go ahead, I'll come to see you when I have time." After saying that, He left the yard with Zhu Mai. Yi Chen let out a bitter smile. Xu Jing, who was sitting in front of him, had her head almost touching her chest. He had to find something to talk about, otherwise it would be very awkward. Do you still remember that time when I came back from the Northwest auction house? I borrowed your hand to train my body-strengthening art? After thinking for a while, Yi Chen started talking about the past. Yeah. Xu Jing listened quietly. The sky was getting dark. Yi Chen walked Xu Jing to the mountaintop where Yi Chen lived. The night passed without any words. The next afternoon, the room was filled with a bright blood-golden aura. This aura was extremely strong. With just a single sniff, Yi Chen would feel warm and refreshed. In Yi Chen's sight, there was a water tank-sized lump of mud on the floor of the room. The mud was completely covered by the blood-golden color and was slightly translucent. Through the translucent mud, Yi Chen could see a palm-sized blood sunflower growing in it. The blood sunflower had a rich blood-golden color. It looked like gold or jade. It was shining brightly. It's time for me to use you. Using his Zhen Qi like a blade, Yi Chen cut open the mud and took out the 3,000-years-old blood sunflower. Tearing off a small petal, Yi Chen took a deep breath and swallowed it. He then sat cross-legged on the bed and started to refine the medicinal energy. 3 days passed, and a blood-golden aura appeared on Yi Chen's body. Strands of it were like ribbons. This was the sign of the excess medicinal energy leaking out. As expected of a 3,000-years-old blood sunflower, I still underestimated its medicinal energy. Just a small petal was able to completely replenish my qi and blood, and even improve it to the next level. What a pity that some of the medicinal energy leaked out and was wasted. Opening his eyes, Yi Chen had a regretful expression on his face. If it were Xu Jing, then this would not have happened. It seemed like he would have to find a chance to send some over. After 7 months of closed-door training, Xu Jing's strength had already crossed the 100,000 pounds threshold, leaving Yi Chen far behind. Her qi and blood were so powerful that even astral-reaching realm warriors would not be able to compete with her. If it were not for the minor blood demon body separating great art, he would have given her all of it. However, although my qi and blood have been replenished, the side effects are not completely gone. The blood explosion great art is not just a little bit harmful to martial artists. Yi Chen was not in a hurry. Sometimes, he would have to bear the consequences. It was something that could not be avoided. A lot of thoughts flashed through his mind as Yi Chen started to think about his own power. In terms of cultivation, he had reached the peak level of late clasping Yuan realm, and was not far away from purifying Jin Yuan. It was a huge improvement, as his basic power would not be at a disadvantage for warriors below the astral reaching realm. In terms of martial arts, his Green Lotus sword spell had already reached the 10th level, and he had condensed 6 beams of Green Lotus sword qi in his body. Each beam was extremely powerful, and combined with his sword intent, he would be able to beat Yang Qihua and the others. Besides his cultivation and martial arts, the biggest breakthrough was his sword intent. Once the sword intent reached the late stage, each breakthrough would be extremely rare. As his sword intent reached the 80%, Yi Chen's overall power had increased drastically again. He already had the battling power to kill a peak-level early astral-reaching realm warrior, and he would be able to fight against a normal mid-astral-reaching realm warrior. Before, with his mysterious Jin Yuan and 70% sword intent, Yi Chen might be able to tear apart the defense of a mid-astral-reaching realm warrior, but his opponent was not a block of wood that would let him attack. Therefore, if he encountered a mid-astral-reaching realm warrior, he would not have any chance of winning. Instead, the possibility of him dying would be very high. Although right now, he might not be able to win against a mid-astral-reaching realm warrior, he would be able to fight against him for a while. My cultivation will not improve in a short period of time. My 80% sword intent has not stabilized yet. Right now, I will close up and train my Green Lotus sword spell. Yi Chen was very clear that the higher the cultivation realm, the earlier one could step into the Jin Yuan refining stage, and the faster the refining process would be. Right now, what he lacked was nothing else but cultivation base. If his cultivation base had been at early astral reaching realm during the bloody battle with Daoist Jin Huang, he would have been able to fight for a long time, and Xu Jing wouldn't have broken the bones in her arms, temporarily crippling her. Cultivation is the way to go. Nothing else can be relied on. Sighing, Yi Chen decided to continue his closed-up training. He would train his Green Lotus sword spell to a higher realm first. Once he had enough basic power, he would think about other things. Before his closed-up training, Yi Chen went to the Misty Peak to talk to Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer. The two were his seniors, and had helped him a lot. In this bloody battle, it was also thanks to their help. Cloud Dreamer had almost exploded himself, so it would not be right if he did not greet them. Seeing Yi Chen recover so fast, Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer were very happy. They thought that it would take at least a year and a half for Yi Chen to recover. Hearing that Yi Chen was going to continue his closed-up training, the two reminded him not to be too impatient because of the hatred in front of him. He needed to increase his power. Yi Chen told them not to worry. He had already planned for this closed-up training. In fact, if Jin Huang and Sikong Sheng had not come to the Sky Cloud Martial School, Yi Chen was planning to train for a year before coming out. Saying goodbye to the two, Yi Chen went to notify Xu Jing and the rest before returning to the shocking Cloud Mountain and entering the training room inside the mountain. Chapter 306. His Green Lotus sword spell had reached the 10th realm under the pressure, but it was not that simple. Sometimes, the breakthrough of a martial art required not only the comprehensive ability, but also the explosive power. When the explosive power had nowhere to go, it would naturally follow the best path. But of course, one could not expect to be this lucky every time. Most of the time, the breakthrough of a martial art would have to be done step by step. Looking forward to the next 3 steps, hoping for luck to come would be short-sighted after all. My body has almost recovered. Closing up should be no problem. The 3,000 years old blood sunflower was way too powerful. Even though he had lost a part of it, there was still a lot of it hidden deep inside his body, constantly nourishing his qi and blood. Right now, Yi Chen had to pay close attention to be able to sense some slight discomfort, which was slowly disappearing. Sitting on the stone platform with his legs crossed, he took out 2 mid-rank soul stones and held them in his hands, then closed his eyes. While Yi Chen was closing up, the Sky Cloud Martial School had started a big reorganization. This time, there were a lot of people who had run away from the Jin Huang incident. Among them, there were more than 1,000 outer disciples, 100 inner disciples, 50 outer masters, and 4 inner masters. Most of them had just joined the Sky Cloud Martial School, and they were not loyal enough yet. Therefore, Luo Xinglie decided to give those disciples a chance. They were still young after all, and their loyalty could be trained slowly. It was understandable that they would run away in a life-and-death situation. However, the elders who had run away would not be so lucky. If they lost this chance, they would never be able to join the Sky Cloud Martial School again. Especially the 4 inner masters, they had lived in the Sky Cloud Martial School for more than 10 years. Running away like this would make a lot of people feel ashamed. In the main hall, Luo Xinglie looked at Luo Hanshan and Zhu Mai, who were sitting in the middle of the hall. He cleared his throat and said, "Hanshan, Zhu Mai, you two have reached the clasping Yuan realm for a long time. It is not suitable for you to continue being the core disciples. Right now, there are some vacancies for the inner masters. Do you have any objections?" The requirement to become an inner master in the Sky Cloud Martial School was relatively low. As long as one had proven his power, he or she could become an inner master as long as they were at the mid-clasping Yuan realm. Although Luo Hanshan and Zhu Mai were only at the early clasping Yuan realm, their battling power was at the same level as mid-clasping Yuan realm warriors. Hanshan is fine. Zhu Mai has no objections either. Indeed, the two of them did not have any objections. Now that Yi Chen was a Grand Elder and Xu Jing was a Core Elder, their statuses were extremely high. In formal occasions, they had to greet the two of them respectfully, which made them very uncomfortable. Now that they had become inner elders, the awkwardness was solved. HM, keep working hard. The Sky Cloud Martial School still needs you to survive. Yi Chen and Xu Jing will most likely leave the Sky Cloud Martial School to train themselves. They will not be able to stay in the Sky Cloud Martial School for long. Luo Xinglie nodded. Lu Hanshan and Zhu Mai glanced at each other. A bitter smile appeared on their faces. It was not that they couldn't go out to train themselves, But in order to go to a bigger place, they would need to be qualified. For example, the clasping Yuan realm martial artists of the Windy Nation would basically stay in the Windy Nation to train themselves in a small area. Very few of them would go to other nations, and the same was true for the martial artists of other nations. Normally, the weaker a martial artist was, the smaller the area he could train himself in. In order to break this rule, a martial artist would have to have an extremely great potential, which would allow him to grow stronger quickly in a dangerous situation. Otherwise, even if he was one step late, he would be in mortal danger. They were clearly aware of their own potential, and even if they could barely survive, it would still be very difficult for them to grow stronger quickly. Instead of risking their lives, they would rather stay in the Windy Nation, and occasionally go to other nations to train themselves. All of the martial geniuses were like a group of fish swimming against the current. After a while, there would be a group of fish that would fall behind, and after a while, there would be another group that would fall behind. The ones who could actually swim to the top could be counted on one hand. Yi Chen and Xu Jing were without a doubt the leaders of this group of fish. The distance between them was getting further and further, and eventually, they were out of their sight. The mountain peak was steep, and the wind was fierce. Xu Jing, who was dressed in white, stood in the knife-like wind, wholeheartedly practicing her martial arts. Of course, since her arms were already crippled, it was impossible for her to practice fist arts. Instead, she practiced leg arts and lightness skills. It seemed to be caused by her personality and the martial arts she practiced. In the hands of Xu Jing, any martial arts would become as powerful as a thunderbolt, full of power. Together with her slender and graceful figure, she gave people a unique feeling, like a small white flower in the cold winter. The biting cold wind was kicked away by the sharp knife-like leg force, and the angular mountain peak was flattened. Xu Jing's figure was sometimes fast and sometimes slow. When she was fast, she was like a shooting star, and when she was slow, she was like a floating paper crane. The combination of the two was quite harmonious, showing her extraordinary control over her body. Break. The leg force was like a knife. Xu Jing's leg chopped down diagonally, hitting the edge of the mountain peak. With a cracking sound, a piece of the huge mountain peak was cut off. The cut surface was smooth and flat, and it was impossible to tell that it was caused by the leg force. Before he knew it, 2 months had passed, and Yi Chen was still in closed-up training. During this period of time, a few big things had happened in the Sky Cloud Martial School. The annual Inner Disciple ranking competition had just finished, and a lot of talented disciples had been discovered. The core disciples had increased from 20 to 30, and among them, 3 had reached the clasping Yuan realm one after another. The reason they could reach the clasping Yuan realm was more or less because of the dragon fountain chi. But more importantly, it was because they had decided to fight against Jin Huang, which had affected them a lot. Every single one of them could feel that their will had been strengthened, and it was hard to be shaken. Shocking Cloud Mountain. Inside the spacious secret room, Yi Chen slowly let out a breath. The breath was like a stream of soft sword chi, shooting through the wall in front of him. I have reached the 11th realm of the Green Lotus sword spell, and it took me even less time to reach the 8th realm from the 7th realm. According to Yi Chen's original estimation, reaching the 11th realm within half a year would already be very impressive. After the 10th realm of a top-rank Earth realm martial art, the next realm would get harder and harder to train. A lot of people would be stuck at the 10th realm for their entire lives, unable to make any progress. Some of the astral-reaching realm warriors who had trained top-rank Earth realm martial arts would only be stuck between the 12th and 13th realm, because in the later stages, it would not take a lot of time to make a breakthrough. It would require both luck and enlightenment. Sometimes, with a sudden inspiration, one might be able to make a breakthrough. The second his Green Lotus sword spell broke through to the 11th realm, the 6 Green Lotus Shen Qi in his dantian slightly shook, and had a qualitative change. The pinky-sized sword Qi was like a small fish, covered with a layer of sharp Qi. The tip of the sword Qi even seemed to be spitting out a cold light. That kind of spirituality and sharpness made even Yi Chen admire it. He could imagine how powerful the Green Lotus sword Qi would be when it reached the 13th realm. Cut. Pointing out his finger, the Green Lotus sword Qi shot out of his finger along his meridians. It tore open a thin mark on the ground, and eventually flashed through a stone pillar in the secret room. Without a sound, a complete black line appeared in the middle of the stone pillar. If it were not for the support of the stone pillar underneath, the top half of the pillar would have fallen off without a doubt. So sharp. The stone pillar and the sword chi did not even touch. Only the chi of the sword chi had swept through it, and it had already been cut in two. It was so silent. Yi Chen had seen it clearly. He secretly gasped. If the 11th realm of the Green Lotus sword chi was already this powerful, then the 13th realm would be even more powerful. No wonder the manual said that even if the Green Lotus sword spell was separated, it would still be the top of the top-rank Earth realm martial art, only one step away from reaching the next realm. Right now, I am already at the peak level late clasping Yuan realm, and I have been training the Green Lotus sword spell. I can reach the Jin Yuan refining stage at any moment. I have to push my martial art and my cultivation to the next level. By then, my power will increase exponentially. Taking a deep breath, Yi Chen closed his eyes and sank into his training mode again. Time flew like water. 4 months had passed since Yi Chen went into closed-up training for the second time. The Sky Cloud Martial School had officially walked out of the big reorganization. Everyone was united. Whether it was the core masters, the inner masters, the outer masters, the core disciples, the inner disciples, or the outer disciples, everyone looked refreshed. Many of the warriors who came to visit the Sky Cloud Martial School could already feel that kind of unbreakable aura before they even got close to the Sky Cloud Martial School. They could not help but click their tongues. On this day, a group of outer disciples who had gone to the Silent Hills for the training had hurried up the mountain with bloodstains all over their bodies. What's wrong? What happened? An inner court disciple stopped them and asked with a frown. The leading outer disciple breathed heavily and said, "Not good. The number of beasts in the Silent Hills has increased a lot. Some of them have never been seen before. They are very different from normal beasts. We were attacked by a group of low-rank beasts when we just got in. 9 of us were killed. 9 people died. Let's go. I will take you to the main palace. You need to tell the leader and all the masters about the details. This is very important. We cannot afford to be careless." The Silent Hills had always been the training place for the outer disciples. The inner disciples would occasionally go there to look for some medicines as well. However, there had never been a situation where 9 disciples had died at once. 1 or 2 deaths in a couple of months was already the limit. After the group of outer disciples arrived at the main palace and told the leaders of the Sky Cloud Martial School what had happened, Luo Xinglia frowned a little and thought to himself, the outer part of the Silent Hills is not that dangerous. There are only 1 or 2 rank 7 beasts in the deeper part of the hills. This is very strange. The deepest part of the Silent Hills was listed as a forbidden area by the Sky Cloud Martial School. Everyone in the Sky Cloud Martial School knew about it. However, after this incident, the entire Silent Hills would probably be listed as a forbidden area. They would lose a great training place. The headmaster of the Sky Cloud Martial School suggested, "Leader, we should inform the Great Master first." Luo Xinglia nodded, "You go and gather everyone in the plaza. Tell them not to go to the Silent Hills for a while. We will talk about it after we know the result." Yes. Cloud Dreaming Peak. After hearing Luo Xinglia's words, Cloud Dreamer exchanged a look with Thunder Freer. "Brother Thunder, you help me take care of the Sky Cloud Martial School. I will go to the Silent Hills to check it out. Do you want me to go with you?" "No need. Yi Chen is in closed-door training right now. He cannot be disturbed. The Sky Cloud Martial School needs someone to take care of it. Plus, I am quite familiar with the Silent Hills. If anything happens, I will come back immediately. Even a top-rank 7 beast would not be able to stop me." "All right then. You be careful." Thunder Freer knew about Cloud Dreamer's flying art. Although Cloud Dreamer was not as fast as him in a straight line, he was much better than him in other aspects. Chapter 307. On the main plaza, the headmaster saw that almost everyone had arrived, so he told everyone about what had happened in the Silent Hills. He then ordered everyone not to step into the Silent Hills and wait for the result of the investigation. What? 9 outer disciples had died in the outer area of the Silent Hills, and it was all at once. What had happened? The Silent Hills is not that far from the Sky Cloud Martial School. This year has been quite an eventful one for our Sky Cloud Martial School. What are you afraid of? It is only a beast. I hope the leader will gather us to hunt the beasts in the Silent Hills. It has been a long time since we last got some exercise. Don't be too confident. There are 1 or 2 rank 7 beasts in the deepest part of the Silent Hills. One of them is confirmed to be the ghost-faced demonic cow. As for the other one, no one knows for sure. Some say it is a rank 6 tyrant beast, while others say it is a rank 7 beast. 2 rank 7 beasts. It is indeed tricky. Fortunately, we have 2 peak level early astral reaching realm warriors and Brother Yi. No, I should call him the Great Master. Everyone was discussing, curious about what had happened in the Silent Hills. All right, everyone disperse. Remember, without orders, no one is allowed to come close or enter the Silent Hills. Otherwise, even if you do not die, you will be punished according to the school rules. The headmaster waved his hand, signaling everyone to disperse. Shoo! Right then, a white shadow flew into the sky from the cloud mountain, disappearing into the clouds. The headmaster could see it clearly. It was indeed the Great Master, Cloud Dreamer. Great Master, are you going to the Silent Hills? I wonder what the result will be. 1 day later, Cloud Dreamer had returned. His face was expressionless, and no one could tell anything from his expression. On the Cloud Mountain, Thunder Freya asked, Cloud Dreamer, did anything happen in the Silent Hills? I fought with the rank 7 ghost-faced demonic cow. This demonic cow is much more powerful than it was 10 years ago. The good thing was that the problem was not with it. Otherwise, even if you and I fought together, we might not be able to kill it. At most, we would only be able to push it back. Cloud Dreamer sat on the stone bench and took a sip of tea. You only fought with the demon-faced bull and didn't do anything else? Cloud Dreamer looked a bit serious. I don't know if it is my illusion, but half of the Silent Hills is covered by a layer of black chi. I think it is the reason why the beasts from other places are gathering here and going crazy. Unfortunately, we haven't found the source of the black chi yet. Plus, I might not be able to handle it by myself. Black aura, strange. Thunder Freya thought for a while and said, I'll go check it out tomorrow. Maybe I can find the source of the black chi. Alright, let's take turns. When Yi Chen comes out of seclusion, we'll work together to search for him. After a month, Thunder Freya and Cloud Dreamer took turns to enter the Silent Hills to search for the source of the black chi. However, the chi was very uniform, and they couldn't tell where it was thicker. They couldn't find anything. Gradually, they started to get anxious. Recently, the beasts from the outer area of the Silent Hills had been attacking the villages and towns nearby. As the real ruler of the area within 10,000 miles, the Sky Cloud Martial School had the responsibility to protect them. If the area under their control was not safe, then where would the Sky Cloud Martial School's reputation go? Remember, although our Sky Cloud Martial School is one of the top 5 martial institutions, do not bully or look down on the disciples of other martial institutions or families. Anyone who breaks the rules will be punished. Do you hear me? On the main plaza, the top management of the Sky Cloud Martial School had a serious look on their faces. This incident was classified as a small area beast wave incident. Although it was not as big as a small beast wave, they still couldn't be careless. They had already notified all the leaders of the big cities within 10,000 miles, the leaders of all the big families, and some of the leaders of the non-ranked martial institutions. They were going to form an alliance army to kill more and more beasts and protect the safety of the ordinary people. Understood. After the incident with Jin Huang, everyone was not afraid of this small area beast wave. Instead, they were a bit excited and wanted to go there immediately. Within a blink of an eye, another month had passed. During this month, everyone from the Sky Cloud Martial School had had a very fulfilling life. Every day, there would be a huge amount of beasts walking out of the Silent Hills, attacking villages and towns. The people from the Sky Cloud Martial School who were guarding the villages and towns would join hands with the people from other forces in the nearby areas to kill the beasts. Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer took turns to patrol the battlefield. Of course, they did not join the battle, since the small area beast wave was not that dangerous. For warriors, it was a great training opportunity. Sometimes, there would even be a situation where there were not enough beasts to kill, and people would fight for the beasts. Seeing this, everyone let out a sigh of relief. Luckily, it was still under control. Maybe it was because of some reason that the number of beasts had increased and turned violent. Seriously speaking, this was not a beast wave. A real beast wave, even if it was a small one, was extremely dangerous. Every time it appeared, there would be a lot of casualties. It would not be like this, where everyone was fighting for the beasts. In a city near the Silent Hills, Cloud Dreamer smiled. The Black Chi was indeed strange, but as long as it was not too dangerous, he would have time to deal with it. In the afternoon, a horrifying roar suddenly came from the outer area of the Silent Hills. Then, the sky turned dark, and dark clouds appeared, covering the sun and the sky. Ghost-faced demonic cow. No, it is another rank 7 beast. Cloud Dreamer's heart slightly tightened. His Zhen Yuan was ready to explode, ready to burn at any second. After a while, 100-meter-long, jet-black, giant snake slithered over at an extreme speed. Its body was covered with palm-sized black scales, and there was a curved horn on its head. There was a black chi flowing on that horn, which had stimulated the beasts nearby to become even crazier. Black chi. It is the Sky Demon Snake. Cloud Dreamer looked a bit bad. The Sky Demon Snake's defense was extremely powerful, and it was almost invincible among the beasts at the same rank. If it were a rank 6 Sky Demon Snake, then it would be the tyrant of the rank 6 beasts, which would be even more powerful than the Wind Beast. If it were a rank 7 beast, then it would be the tyrant of the rank 7 beasts. According to the rumors, the Sky Demon Snake had the bloodline of the ancient beast, the Demon Dragon. Once it reached rank 7, it would be able to breathe out a black flame that was similar to a dragon's breath, which could burn everything. It was extremely horrifying. Even peak-level mid-astral reaching realm warriors would have a headache facing it. The Sky Demon Snake straightened up half of its body, opening its mouth and shooting out a bucket-thick dark light at Cloud Dreamer. On its way, the trees were shattered, and the ground cracked open, leaving behind a deep ravine. Open. Burning his Zhen Yuan, a sword appeared in his hand. Cloud Dreamer threw out a sword attack at the dark light. As for dodging, he did not even think about it, since there were hundreds of thousands of people in the city behind him. Boom. The dark light had been shattered, and Cloud Dreamer was blown dozens of meters away in the air. The Sky Demon Snake stared at Cloud Dreamer with its vertical pupils. As it flicked its tongue, a black flame spread out, burning the air and turning it into a vacuum world. I did not expect that there would be such a rare Sky Demon Snake in the Silent Hills. This snake must have reached rank 7 recently. Otherwise, it would be impossible for me not to notice it. The Sky Demon Snake was born as a rank 5 beast, and it would grow into a rank 6 beast when it was young. During its growth period, it would become a rank 7 beast, and when it matured, it would become a rank 8 beast. Different from the normal beasts, once it reached its growth period, it would become extremely bloodthirsty and brutal. Wherever it went, blood would flow like a river. It was extremely aggressive, and it was born with the demonic nature, just like the ancient demon dragon, which was the symbol of killing and bloodthirst. I cannot handle a rank 7 Sky Demon Snake, and I cannot save this city by myself. It seems like I will have to join hands with Brother Lei. It was an emergency situation, so Cloud Dreamer planned to lure the Sky Demon Snake to a place not far away from the Sky Cloud Martial School. By then, Thunder Freer would definitely notice. Once he arrived, the two of them would be able to stall the Sky Demon Snake for a while. Of course, Cloud Dreamer had other plans as well. Yi Chen had been in closed-up training for 6 months, and his power must have improved. If the three of them joined hands, there was still a chance for them to beat the Sky Demon Snake back. Right now, it was the only choice they could make. Cloud-shattering sky cut. Thinking about that, Cloud Dreamer yelled out as he poured his burning Zhen Yuan into his great sword. He threw out an arc-shaped sword chi. Boom. The sword chi was bounced off by the Sky Demon Snake scales, only leaving a small crack on it. Cloud Dreamer was secretly happy seeing that. This sky demon snake had just leveled up not long ago, so its defense was not that powerful. That way, they would have a higher chance of winning. The sky demon snake was furious, and started to approach Cloud Dreamer. Cloud Dreamer kept fighting and backing out at the same time, gradually leaving that area. Hundreds of miles later, wherever the man and beast went, everything was in a mess. A lot of mountains had collapsed, and rivers had stopped flowing. From the beginning to the end, the sky demon snake had not spat out any black flame. It seemed like it had just reached rank 7 not long ago, so there was not much black flame left. Alright, this is the place. Dozens of miles behind him was the Sky Cloud Martial School. Cloud Dreamer stopped moving and started to fight with the sky demon snake. The sword chi and the dark light were everywhere. Shoo! Cloud Dreamer was too agile. The sky demon snake obviously had the upper hand, but it still could not hit him within a short period of time. The sky demon snake rolled its eyes and opened its mouth again, shooting out a huge wave of black flame towards Cloud Dreamer's direction. The flame seemed to be alive, blocking all of Cloud Dreamer's escape routes. Cloud Dragon 9 turns. Twisting his body, Cloud Dreamer flashed 8 times before he managed to escape from the black flame. However, the long robe on his body had been brushed by the black flame and started to burn. Cloud Dreamer made a quick decision and cut off the burning long robe. The black flame could burn anything, even if it was not dead, it would be crippled. The man and the beast were making too much noise. Thunder Freya, who was in the Sky Cloud Martial School, had sensed Cloud Dreamer's chi. His expression changed, and he flew out without saying a word. From afar, Thunder Freya saw the massive sky demon snake. He performed his sky demon great art, burning his Jin Yuan and forming the Sky Thunder battle armor outside his body. Cloud Dreamer, let me help you. Alright, be careful of its black flame. Shocking Cloud Mountain, sitting on the stone platform, Yi Chen let out a breath. This time, the chi was even more intense than the last time. It went through the secret room directly and reached the edge of the mountain. It has been 6 months. I am afraid it will be hard to reach the 13th level in a short period of time. But, it should be enough. With my current power, I will no longer need to be afraid of mid-astral reaching realm warriors. Standing up, Yi Chen waved his hand and the door of the secret room opened. His body flashed, disappearing within a blink of an eye. Chapter 308. Boom. Dozens of miles away from the Sky Cloud Martial School, the ground started to shake. Countless mountains were either pierced through by the dark light, cut down by the sword chi, or directly shattered into pieces. The battle between 2 peak-level early astral reaching realm warriors and a rank 7 beast sky demon snake was extremely horrifying. Sky Thunder Strike. The Thunder Orb had accumulated enough Thunder element Shen Chi. Thunder Freya yelled loudly as he controlled the Thunder Orb to shoot out arm-sized thunder and lightning towards the sky demon snake. The thunder and lightning were like spears, leaving finger-sized cracks on the sky demon snake scales. Tiny electric arcs kept flashing in the air. With the addition of Thunder Freya, Cloud Dreamer felt a lot more relaxed. However, up until now, the two of them could not do anything to the sky demon snake's defense. Although the sky demon snake had just leveled up, and it had not fully activated all of its potential as a rank 7 beast, the demon dragon bloodline was not a normal ancient beast bloodline. As its level increased, the demon dragon bloodline would bring more and more benefits. Right now, the sky demon snake was almost at the same level as a rank 7 tyrant beast. Given some time, it would definitely surpass most of the rank 7 tyrant beasts. Cloud Dreamer, we can't. Even if we both attack with all of our power, we would not be able to break through its defense. Thunder Freya forced a smile. The sky demon snake was only a small beast among the rank 7 snake-type beasts. However, compared to human beings, its hundreds of meters long body was already extremely huge. The tiny cracks on its scales would not be able to do any damage to it, unless they could break through its defense with one attack and get inside. After cutting down the head of the sky demon snake, Cloud Dreamer flashed to the side and said while gasping for air, it would be impossible to break through its defense with one attack. We would have to attack a certain spot multiple times to hurt it. Alright then. You give me a chance. Let me see if my Sky Thunder Strike can hurt it. The Sky Thunder Strike was Thunder Freya's most powerful ace attack. However, it was rarely used in battles, because it would take a long time to charge up and consume a lot of Jin Yuan. Basically, Thunder Freya could only perform it 2 or 3 times at his peak, and each attack would consume more than 30% of his Jin Yuan. On the other hand, the destructive power of the Sky Thunder Strike was extremely horrifying. It was a powerful ace attack that sacrificed all the other advantages. After a while, under Cloud Dreamer's control, Thunder Freya threw out a Sky Thunder Strike towards the Sky Demon Snake's neck. Catcher. The Sky Demon Snake's neck had the most cracks. After that attack, the scales had finally cracked open. The lightning poured into the wound like a spear, and exploded the Sky Demon Snake. Hissing into the Sky Demon Snake's body twisted together in pain. Like an earthworm that had just left the ground, it curled up and kept rolling. Of course, this kind of attack would not be able to wound it badly. It was only a flesh wound, but the pain was still very real. In its fury, the Sky Demon Snake did not care about anything else. It opened its mouth and spat out a huge amount of black flame towards the two of them. The flame was ferocious like waves, covering the entire sky. Retreat. Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freya turned around and flew away, increasing their speed to the limit. The fierce black flame followed closely behind them, less than 10 meters away from them. Green Lotus Sky. At this moment, a silhouette appeared on the side of the mountain peak. The silhouette reached the peak and swung his sword at the black flames. The void was frozen, and it was as calm as a lake. Numerous green lotuses formed by sharp airflows bloomed in the air, spreading out at an extremely fast speed and enveloping the black flames. Shoo! The power of the black flame was extremely horrifying. Pieces of green lotuses had been burned into ashes, and the peaceful void had been shaken up. Cracks had appeared in the vacuum space. However, after that, the power of the black flame had been completely removed. It could only keep burning. Yi Chen. A joyful expression flashed through Cloud Dreamer's face. His body flashed once, and Yi Chen appeared right next to the two, Senior Cloud Dreamer, Thunder Freya. What is going on? Right then, Cloud Dreamer told Yi Chen everything that had happened. Yi Chen glanced at the Sky Demon Snake. This is the Sky Demon Snake? It is indeed tricky. If we do not get it out of the Silent Hills, it will always be a problem. He had heard about the Sky Demon Snake before. This kind of rank 7 beast with the bloodline of the demon dragon was extremely hard to kill. It had an unbelievably powerful life force. Although Yi Chen's power had increased drastically, and he could even fight against mid-astral reaching realm warriors, he was still far from being able to kill the Sky Demon Snake. Yi Chen, you have been in closed-up training for 6 months. What realm have you reached? Thunder Freya could not help but ask after seeing that the sword attack of Yi Chen was even more powerful than 6 months ago. It could almost trap an early astral reaching realm warrior who was burning his Jin Qi to death. Yi Chen smiled lightly. The Jin Qi inside his body started to circulate. Bits of broken light appeared on his protective Jin Qi layer, which looked like precious stones and diamonds at the same time. They were crystal clear and extremely condensed. Because of the martial art, these broken light gave people an extremely sharp feeling. Half-step Jin Yuan? You have reached the level where you can purify Jin Yuan. Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freya's eyes brightened. Yi Chen was different from them. They were battling with their cultivation, and were not that outstanding in other aspects. However, Yi Chen was top of the top in other aspects besides his cultivation. Therefore, even if there was only a slight breakthrough in his cultivation, his battling power would increase tremendously. Yi Chen said, "Right now, I am in the first Jin Yuan purification stage, but I have not finished it yet. Training a top-rank Earth Realm martial art would require 2 Jin Yuan purification stages." Right now, it was Yi Chen's first Jin Yuan purification process. Judging on cultivation, he was still a bit weaker than Sikong Sheng. But, soon, after the first Jin Yuan purification, there would be no difference between him and Sikong Sheng in terms of cultivation. Among the young generation of the South Rudra region, he would be at the top in every aspect. Cloud Dreamer was overjoyed. Great. As long as you enter the Zhen Yuan purification stage, you will not be far from reaching the astral reaching realm. By then, as long as late astral reaching realm warriors do not show up, no one would be able to compete with you. Before, the Sky Cloud Martial School was just normal, and would not attract any attention. But now, the Sky Cloud Martial School had an endless amount of luck, which would make people jealous. Just him and Thunder Freya alone would not be enough. This time, if it were not for the powerful warriors who had come to save them, the Sky Cloud Martial School would have been destroyed already. Therefore, Yi Chen's improvement had greatly reduced the pressure on him. Senior Cloud Dreamer, don't worry. That day will not be far away. The higher the realm of the martial arts, the shorter the Zhen Yuan purification time would be. In 6 months, Yi Chen had trained his Green Lotus sword spell to the 12th realm. He believed that after the first Zhen Yuan purification, it would be able to reach the 13th realm, and the second Zhen Yuan purification time would be much shorter. As for what Thunder Freya had said before, even with a top-rank Earth realm martial art, it would still take 3 to 4 years to reach the astral reaching realm. It was because he did not think that many people would be able to train their martial arts beyond the 10th realm at the clasping Yuan realm, not to mention Yi Chen's 12th realm. Plus, the Green Lotus sword spell was almost a heaven realm martial art, so 3 to 4 years was obviously not needed. Roar. The Sky Demon Snake recovered from the pain and shot out a bucket-thick dark light towards Yi Chen. The dark light split open the air, creating a vacuum tunnel. Cut. The sky-shattering cloud sword movement operated according to the poetic perspective of thunder and clouds. Yi Chen held his sword with both of his hands, throwing out a sword attack towards the dark light. Swoosh. The dark light was split into 2, shooting through 2 mountains on the left and right respectively. Be careful of its black flame. Do not touch it. Cloud Dreamer reminded. Yi Chen nodded. This Sky Demon Snake was not as scary as the rumors said it to be. It should be because it had just reached the next level. However, its battling power was obviously at the mid-astral reaching realm, and its defense had reached the rank 7 Tyrant Beast level. Normal mid-astral reaching realm warriors would have to run for their lives if they ran into it. However, Yi Chen was confident that he could beat it back. During the competitions of the Hidden Dragon rank, he had trained a high-rank Earth realm martial art, the mysterious Great Art. Although it was not as powerful in other aspects, his battling power was already equivalent to a normal early astral reaching realm warrior. Right now, he had entered the Zhen Yuan refining stage. Without using the minor blood demon body separating Great Art, he would be able to compete with early astral reaching realm warriors who were burning their Zhen Yuan. Once he used it, his battling power would reach beyond the early astral reaching realm and reach the mid-astral reaching realm. Of course, if a mid-astral reaching realm warrior were to burn his Zhen Yuan, it would still be quite horrifying. Yi Chen's battling power was still below average. He would not be able to compete with the older mid-astral reaching realm warriors like the Black Crow Man. He could only fight against normal mid-astral reaching realm warriors. Once he reached the astral reaching realm, everything would be clear. He would truly not be afraid of mid-astral reaching realm warriors. As long as a late astral reaching realm warrior did not show up, there would not be many people who could do anything to him, including some of the freakishly powerful mid-astral reaching realm warriors. Woo! Seeing that the dark light could not do anything to Yi Chen, the Sky Demon Snake did not plan to shoot out that extremely hard-to-form black flame. Instead, it slightly lowered its head, and a black light appeared on its horn, shaking the entire space. Boom! A pile of black chi flow poured out of its horn, eventually turning into a demonic dragon chi flow, attacking towards Yi Chen. Blood Demon Body Separation. The blood-red half-step Zhen Yuan shot out into the sky, and Yi Chen's aura increased drastically. Judging from his appearance alone, he looked even more horrifying than an early astral reaching realm warrior. Along with his aura, there was also a sword intent that had spread out in the air. The sword intent had been condensed into one beam, which was even more threatening. He did not perform his kill heart sword attack. Although it was more horrifying than the first ace attack of the Green Lotus sword art, it was under the premise that he could not perform his minor blood demon body separation Great Art. Therefore, he would only be able to perform 80% of its power. Therefore, it was not as powerful as the second half of the Green Lotus Green Lotus accumulation. Shoo! A fist-sized Green Lotus shot out along with Yi Chen's attack. It drew a thin black line in the air, landing heavily on that demonic dragon chi flow. The demonic dragon chi flow roared into the sky, opening its mouth to bite the Green Lotus, wanting to swallow it whole. Pooh! The demonic dragon chi flow had been pierced through completely, and the Green Lotus came out from its tail. The remaining power did not disappear, blowing the sky demon snake back into the air and shattering a mountain. After shattering the demonic dragon chi flow with one punch, Yi Chen chased after it. His mysterious Jin Yuan, which had already been converted by half into Green Lotus Jin Yuan, poured into his Star Scar sword through his meridians. Cut! While the iron was still hot, Yi Chen threw out his most powerful ace attack to the sky demon snake, not giving it any chance to fight back. Chapter 309. Yi Chen's Green Lotus accumulation did not do much damage to the sky demon snake, which was only equivalent to a normal attack from a mid-astral reaching realm warrior. But once he had activated his mysterious Jin Yuan, Yi Chen's attacking power had increased drastically, reaching the peak level of mid-astral reaching realm. With one attack, the sky demon snake's huge body had been pushed into the ground directly. Blood spurted out like a fountain, dyeing the collapsed mountain red. There is still a trace of Jin Yuan in the Jin Qi spiral, which is the seed to regenerate a drop of Jin Yuan. It would take me 3 days to do that. If I cannot beat it, then I will have to fight it again after 3 days. I do not believe that it would be able to recover within 3 days. Before, it would take Yi Chen at least half a month to regenerate a drop of Jin Yuan. But after entering the Jin Yuan refining stage, it would only take him 3 days. In other words, every 3 days, he would be able to perform a Jin Yuan attack. Boom! The ground cracked open as the sky demon snake crawled out from the ground. There was a long and narrow sword mark on its forehead, with blood pouring out of it. What a powerful defense! I am afraid that even late astral reaching realm warriors would not be able to kill it easily. That attack just now was already Yi Chen's limit. Since it did not want to back out, then they would have to work together and force it back into the Silent Hills. Let's do it together. If there are too many wounds on the skin, it would cause internal injuries as well. With the help of Yi Chen, Cloud Dreamer did not think it would be that hard to beat back the sky demon snake. With the three of them working together, it would be more than enough to suppress it. Alright, let's do it together. Thunder Freer was accumulating the Jin Yuan for his Sky Thunder attack. After a while, the sky demon snake finally decided to back out. Its upper body had been attacked by the three of them together, and there was almost no place left unscathed. It was covered with sword marks and burn marks. Plus, it had been losing blood for a long time, which had consumed a lot of its energy. It was not as powerful as before, and it was getting more and more tired. As the sky demon snake backed out, the three of them followed right behind it, watching it escape into the Silent Hills. Woo! Outside of the Silent Hills, Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer had stopped burning their Jin Yuan and were gasping for air. Burning Jin Yuan was a heavy burden for astral reaching realm warriors. Each time they burned their Jin Yuan, they would need to spend a lot of time to recover. If the burning time was too long, they would also need to use great medicines to nourish their meridians and flesh. Otherwise, after a long period of time, it would be hard for them to train. Compared to them, Yi Chen was much more relaxed. The medicinal power of the 3,000-year-old blood sunflower was too strong. Now, he did not even need to deliberately swallow the blood sunflower. The medicinal power of the blood sunflower hidden in his body would automatically nourish his qi and blood. And with the continuous consumption and replenishment, Yi Chen's qi and blood were clearly much more vigorous. Compared to 6 months ago, there was a huge improvement. As for the side effects of performing the minor blood demon body separating great art, it had also disappeared, since the medicinal power of the blood sunflower was constantly nourishing Yi Chen's body. No matter how many side effects there were, they would all be gone, and would not affect Yi Chen at all. The blood sunflower that was less than 1,000 years old would have 3 petals, and the 3,000-year-old one would have 9 petals. Before, I had only swallowed a small half of the petals, and it already had such a lasting effect. There are still 8 petals left, which should be enough for me to use for a long time. Sending 2 or 3 petals to Xu Jing should be fine. Although Xu Jing had a slim body, and her bones were not that thick, her qi and blood were at least 3 times more powerful than Yi Chen's. As long as she did not run out of qi and blood, her physical strength and wounds would be able to recover very quickly. If she ran into a powerful opponent, she would be able to slowly kill him. In the future, when she traveled across the true spirit continent, she would be able to protect herself. Watching the sky demon snake disappear into the silent hills, Cloud Dreamer turned around and said to Yi Chen and Thunder Freya, "In the coming days, the Sky Cloud Martial School will not be peaceful. Let's go back and heal our bodies first, and get ready to fight the sky demon snake until we drive it out of the Windy Nation." "That's the only way." Thunder Freya nodded. Yi Chen then said, "In about 3 days, I will be able to recover 1 drop of Jin Yuan in my body. After that, I will go and find it every 3 days, until it dies." The sky demon snake's defense was way too powerful. When it used its Jin Yuan attack, Yi Chen's attacking power was at least 2 to 3 times more powerful than his Sky Thunder attack. However, it could only slightly wound the sky demon snake, and could not severely wound it. Of course, compared to Thunder Freya and Cloud Dreamer, Yi Chen's attacking power was already quite powerful. After all, the 2 of them had been fighting against the sky demon snake for a long time, and they had only managed to injure it a little. If it were not for Yi Chen, the 2 of them would not be able to do anything to the sky demon snake, and would instead be killed by it. Recovering 1 drop of Jin Yuan in 3 days? So fast. Cloud Dreamer was shocked. He had read the mysterious great art manual that Yi Chen had left behind, but until now, no one had trained it to the 11th level. Only Yi Chen had reached this level. However, according to his understanding, it would take a long time to condense 1 drop of Jin Yuan. The fact that Yi Chen was able to condense 1 drop of Jin Yuan in 3 days was probably related to his cultivation and the level of his martial art. Yi Chen nodded and asked, "Who else in the martial school has trained the mysterious great art?" "There are quite a lot of people who have trained it. There is 1 core master, 4 inner masters, and 1 core disciple. But only the core master, Master Wu, has trained it to the 9th level. The rest of them are all below the 8th level." "Oh, I see," Yi Chen said, "I have a lot of knowledge about the mysterious great art. I know every breakthrough method like the back of my hand. If they have time, let them come to my shocking Cloud Mountain tomorrow. I will teach them personally. If they can train it to the 11th level at the Clasping Yuan realm, then their extreme battling power will increase drastically." "That would be great. You train everything fast, and the breakthrough method is without a doubt the best. With your guidance, they would be able to save a lot of time and effort." Cloud Dreamer stroked his beard, his face full of smiles. The mysterious great art did not have much of an effect on astral-reaching realm warriors, since all they had was Jin Yuan inside their bodies, and they did not need to condense it. However, for Clasping Yuan realm warriors, 1 drop of Jin Yuan could increase their extreme attacking power drastically. Even if they could not handle a single attack from an astral-reaching realm warrior, they would at least be able to kill a powerful peak-level late Clasping Yuan realm warrior. Covering the 10,000 miles radius of the Sky Cloud Martial School, the beast wave did not have much of a destructive power. Many of the powerful parties were even a bit happy, since the more beasts there were, the more opportunities for their disciples to train. For this reason, all of the powerful parties had come together and made a rule that they could get rewards based on the number of beasts they had killed, in order to stimulate everyone's enthusiasm. After looking around for a while, the 3 realized that the Allied army had the situation under control, and they did not need to worry about it, so they went back to the Sky Cloud Martial School. The 2nd day. On the shocking Cloud Mountain. "Master Yi, I have trained the mysterious great art for more than 2 years, but I have been stuck at the 9th level. I cannot make a breakthrough." Inside the Great Master's palace, the core master, Master Wu, cupped his fists and bowed to Yi Chen, then told him about his problem. Yi Chen said, "You try to activate your martial art, let me have a look." "Yes." Master Wu took a deep breath, The Zhen Qi inside his body was activated according to the 9th level of the mysterious great art. After scanning with his soul power, Yi Chen found out the problem and said, "The main point of the mysterious great art is to condense. Your Zhen Qi has a tendency to scatter. In this way, even if you have 3 to 5 years, you might not be able to make a breakthrough to the 10th level, not to mention the 11th level." Immediately, Yi Chen told Master Wu the details of the breakthrough method. Because of his powerful soul power, he was able to see the problem in detail. Master Wu could understand it easily, and could not help but thank him again and again. He was very impressed by Yi Chen. Following that, the 4 inner court elders also came over one by one to lay out their questions. After the 4 left, the only core disciple who had trained the mysterious great art, Jingju, walked in. Yi Chen was not surprised at all. After the incident with Jin Huang, there were 2 more core disciples who had reached the clasping Yuan realm. One was Blood Shadow Blade Meng Chong, and the other was indeed Jingju. Only clasping Yuan realm warriors could have the right to train the top martial arts of the martial school. In the beginning, when Yi Chen had just risen, Jingju was ranked 4th among the core disciples. He was cold and had a rich battling experience, so it was reasonable for him to reach the clasping Yuan realm first. In a couple of months, Jingju had already reached the 4th level of the mysterious great art. He wanted to improve faster, so he came to the shocking Cloud Mountain where Yi Chen was. It was not easy to reach the 5th level from the 4th level, but with Yi Chen's guidance, it could at least shorten the time. Jingju was also a martial genius in the Sky Cloud Martial School, so he could spend even less time. After Jingju left, Yi Chen closed the door of the Great Master's palace and headed to Shu Jing's mountain. On top of the mountain, Shu Jing was practicing her leg art. Yi Chen watched quietly for a while, then nodded silently. Shu Jing's talent was only second to him in the Sky Cloud Martial School, and even in the entire Windy Nation, she was only second to him. Her understanding of martial arts could not be compared to normal people at all. Even Yi Chen could not see any flaws in her martial arts. "You are here." It was like there was a layer of membrane between the two, and without breaking it, Shu Jing was always a bit shy when she saw Yi Chen. She was not as straightforward and calm as she used to be. Right now, they were more like friends than friends, and more like lovers. It was not quite accurate to say that they were lovers, since neither of them had expressed their feelings for each other clearly. Yi Chen thought that it was enough for them to maintain their current relationship. Yi Chen smiled. He took out 3 petals of the blood sunflower and a bottle of medicine. He said, "These petals are 3,000 years old blood sunflower petals. The medicine is 10 times more effective than 1,000 years old blood sunflower. This medicine can preserve the life of the petals, and it will be very helpful for your body training. What about you?" Shu Jing knew that Yi Chen's minor blood demon body separating great art was very dangerous, and it would require even more spirit medicines than her. Yi Chen said, "I still have some here. It should be enough for a long time." Hearing him, Shu Jing did not reject anymore, but the blush on her face was even more obvious. The two chatted for a while in the Core Master Palace. When the sky was getting dark, Yi Chen returned to the shocking Cloud Mountain and continued to figure out the method to break through the 13th level of the Green Lotus Sword spell. After 3 days, Yi Chen ran to the Silent Hills alone, trying to find the Sky Demon Snake. The Sky Demon Snake had been hiding quite well, hiding underground. No wonder it had not been discovered for so many years. Unfortunately, it had run into Yi Chen. Following the direction of the Black Qi, Yi Chen arrived at the general area. He then scanned with his soul power, and the Sky Demon Snake's tracks were immediately exposed. Without any hesitation, Yi Chen performed his minor blood demon body separating great art and fought with the Sky Demon Snake that had not fully recovered yet. In the end, he pushed his Jin Yuan and gave it a brutal attack before leaving. The Sky Demon Snake had been beaten by Yi Chen until it had lost its temper. It had toned down a lot, and did not dare to walk out of the Silent Hills. However, since it had inherited a lot of the bloodline of the demon dragon, it would not be able to vent its desire without killing. Therefore, it could only vent its anger on other beasts. Just like that, Yi Chen came once every 3 days, and left right after the fight. Soon, another 2 months had passed. He was not far away from breaking through the 13th level of the Green Lotus sword spell, and the first Jin Yuan purification was also coming to an end. By then, his battling power would reach the next level. However, the recovery speed of the Sky Demon Snake was a bit out of Yi Chen's expectation. Although every time he went, the Sky Demon Snake would get even more wounded, it was still able to maintain the situation. Yi Chen suspected that there must be something that could speed up the Sky Demon Snake's recovery. Perhaps it was also the main reason why it could reach rank 7. If he did not find that thing, then the battle would not be finished in a short time, and it would become a long battle. Chapter 310. Inside the training room, Yi Chen sat on top of the stone platform with his legs crossed. The half-step Zhen Yuan inside his body was vibrating at a slight frequency. Each time it vibrated, the impurities inside the half-step Zhen Yuan would decrease a bit. Correspondingly, the total amount of half-step Zhen Yuan would decrease as well, but it was still not as much as when he had just reached late clasping Yuan realm. Of course, although the amount of half-step Zhen Yuan had decreased, as the quality increased, his battling power would still increase. After a long while, the vibration disappeared. Bits of broken light shone out of Yi Chen's body, which took up almost half of his total. It meant that the first Zhen Yuan purification had finished, and what he had right now was the true half-step Zhen Yuan, which was still weaker than before. The first Zhen Yuan purification has finished. There will still be some time before I can start the second one. But, by then, I should have reached the 13th realm of the Green Lotus sword spell. Letting out a sharp breath, Yi Chen's body released the aura of a powerful warrior. It was weaker than an astral-reaching realm warrior, but obviously different from the aura of a clasping Yuan realm warrior. Standing up, Yi Chen waved his fist. The fist that contained half-step Zhen Yuan tore apart the air, creating an ear-piercing sound. Before, when I was still weak, there was a huge gap between my normal attacking power and my extreme attacking power. But now, the gap is shrinking. Once I finish the second Zhen Yuan purification, my whole body will be filled with Zhen Yuan, and then there will be no extreme attacking power anymore. Burning my Zhen Yuan will be the extreme attacking power. Just half-step Zhen Yuan had already made Yi Chen feel what it meant to be powerful. Every inch of his body had been refined by the half-step Zhen Yuan, and it had become extra tough. He could imagine how powerful his body would be after he reached the astral-reaching realm. It would also explain why astral-reaching realm warriors could burn their Zhen Yuan, since burning their Zhen Yuan would increase their battling power, which would be even more powerful than the minor blood demon body-separating great art. Without a powerful body, one would not be able to handle it. Thinking of this, Yi Chen suddenly understood how terrifying a body-forging cultivation method was. Body-forging cultivation methods mainly focused on physical strength, and did not pay much attention to Zhen Qi and Zhen Yuan. However, there would still be Zhen Qi and Zhen Yuan in one's body, but it would be much less than other martial artists of the same level. However, a strong body would allow them to burn their Zhen Yuan for a longer period of time, and it would not be easy for them to suffer a backlash. 3 days have passed. It is time for me to find the Sky Demon Snake to practice with. It should not be easy this time. Battling power needed to be demonstrated in real battles. Looking for Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer was not suitable for him, and they would not satisfy his needs either. The Sky Demon Snake with its strong defense was without a doubt the best training partner for him. Shio. On the shocking Cloud Peak, Yi Chen extended his body and flew towards the Silent Hills. There was a vague black chi covering the entire Silent Hills. If one did not sense it carefully, one would not be able to sense it. Scanning with his soul power, Yi Chen could easily locate the Sky Demon Snake's location according to the direction of the black chi flow, since it had not left its original spot at all. Strange. If it was once or twice, it would be understandable. But after so many times, it still does not plan to change its location. Is it waiting for me to go up there? Or is there something there? With suspicion, Yi Chen did not hide his chi at all as he flew over at an extreme speed. Deep inside the Silent Hills, there was a deep underground cave. This cave was indeed the nest of the Sky Demon Snake. Cut. Taking out his Starscar sword, Yi Chen threw out a sword attack. Crack. The 100-meter-long sword chi shot out, leaving a huge sword pit on the ground. The intense vibration had caused the cave to collapse. Moo! Shoo! Two completely different beast roars were heard. Then, the ground cracked open, and a huge bull-like beast rushed out, followed by a 100-meter-long black snake with a sharp horn. It was indeed the sky demon snake that had the bloodline of the demon dragon. That bull-like beast should be the famous ghost-faced demonic cow in the Silent Hills. It managed to get the ghost-faced demonic cow to help. Unfortunately, its power was only equivalent to peak-level early astral reaching realm, which was only slightly more powerful than Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer. It would not be able to handle my attacks at all. Yi Chen did not know how the Sky Demon Snake managed to get the other tyrant of the Silent Hills, but one rank 7 beast would not affect him much, unless it was a rank 7 tyrant beast. Moo! The ghost-faced demonic cow attacked first. It stomped on the ground with its hoof, and a powerful beast chi shockwave attacked towards Yi Chen. Blood demon body disintegration. A blood-red half-step Zhen Yuan exploded from his body, and Yi Chen's battling power increased drastically. He cut open the beast chi shockwave with one sword attack and returned the attack back to the ghost-faced demonic cow. Pap! The sword chi was shattered, and the sky demon snake used its tail to block in front of the ghost-faced demonic cow, blocking out the attack for it. However, it had underestimated the power of Yi Chen's sword chi, and the scales on its tail were all cracked open. Blood poured out of the wound, and it was not a light wound. All of you, get in. Green Lotus Sky. The first half of the Green Lotus sword art had been performed, and the surreal space had been frozen. Layers of chi flow formed a green lotus that spread out, covering both the ghost-faced demonic cow and the sky demon snake. The next second, the green lotus turned into a sword rain and attacked on the two's bodies crazily, bringing up a clear clanging sound. The ghost-faced demonic cow's defense was not as powerful as the sky demon snake's after all. It could not even handle the first half of the ace attack. Countless bone-deep sword marks appeared on its body, and it kept making a muffled moan. The sky demon snake was furious. It opened its mouth and let out a black flame that could burn anything. The green lotus turned into a sword rain and was burned into ashes. The frozen surreal space had also been shattered, disappearing into nothingness. Green lotus accumulation. Cut. A fist-sized green lotus formed on the tip of the sword. Yi Chen waved his sword towards the ghost-faced demonic cow, preparing to take out one first. The ghost-faced demonic cow had never seen such a powerful clasping Yuan realm warrior. It regretted coming to help the sky demon snake, but it was already too late. It had no choice but to use its hardest horn to block out the incoming green lotus, hoping that it would be able to block out the attack. Catcher. The ghost-faced demonic cow's horn was broken, and a huge amount of blood poured out of its mouth and nose. Die. The Silent Hills was not far from the Sky Cloud Martial School. A rank 7 demonic beast was a threat after all. It was hard to guarantee that it would not lose its mind and start to attack. Yi Chen planned to take care of it right here and now. He turned his body, avoiding the sky demon snake's counterattack, and threw out a sword attack towards the ghost-faced demonic cow. The sword chi was like a pillar, and it was indeed the kill heart sword. Pooh! There was no way that the ghost-faced demonic cow could block out the extremely fast kill heart sword. A sword hole appeared on its stomach, and it was so cold that it felt like it had been killed. With its ally dead, the sky demon snake went crazy. For the past 2 months, it had been wounded almost every day, and it was all thanks to Yi Chen. If it were not for him, it would have been killing everywhere, enjoying the experience brought by killing, and gradually activating the demon dragon bloodline inside its body. Once the potential of the demon dragon bloodline was activated to its limit, it would become a real tyrant of rank 7 demonic beasts. It would be way more powerful than normal tyrants of rank 7 demonic beasts, and it would be ready to reach rank 8. Swoosh! The black flame spread out, forming a burning firestorm. Wherever it went, the ground was burned through, and the air was burned out, turning into a vacuum world. The green lotus sky art might not be able to stop the black flame. I will have to attack with brute force. Taking a deep breath, Yi Chen jumped up from the ground. The mysterious Zhen Yuan, no, it should be called the green lotus Zhen Yuan. The green lotus Zhen Yuan poured into the star scar sword through the meridians in his arm, pushing out a beam of blood-red sword qi. The blood-red sword qi sliced open the black flame, landing heavily on the sky demon snake's forehead. Blood was pouring out of its forehead like a pillar, but the sky demon snake did not care about it at all. Its body jumped into the black flame that it had spat out, and with the help of the flame, it threw out a tail attack. Yi Chen was too busy dealing with the black flame that could burn anything, so he did not have the time to dodge. He was smashed into the ground by the sky demon snake's tail. Originally, Yi Chen was planning to rush out immediately, but he sensed that the black qi under the ground was hundreds of times denser than the black qi on the ground. He was confused. Maybe this black qi is not coming from the sky demon snake, but something else? Because of the black qi flowing on the sky demon snake's sharp horn, Yi Chen had always thought that the sky demon snake was the main reason why the beasts in the Silent Hills had gone crazy. But right now, he had overturned his own conclusion. The thing deep under the ground was the real reason why the beasts had gone crazy. The sky demon snake could reach rank 7 beasts and recover at an extremely fast speed, and it was probably because of this thing. Without paying attention to the sky demon snake, Yi Chen released his soul power, flying towards the source of the black qi. Every time he saw something in the way, he would cut it open with his sword. The sky demon snake could not wait for Yi Chen to come out, so panic and anger flashed through its eyes. It twisted its body and dove into the ground, trying its best to reach the thing it was guarding. It was getting closer and closer. Yi Chen's soul power had finally scanned the source of the black qi. It was a flower, a black flower. The black flower was the size of a basin, and each of its petals seemed to be very heavy. It was releasing a very intense black qi, which was in the form of a mist at first. As time went on, it started to dilute into a gaseous form, and then slowly spread out, seeping out of the ground and onto the ground. So this is the thing that the sky demon snake was guarding? Why is there a heartbeat? Yi Chen tried to sense it carefully, and his expression changed. He could sense that the black flower was like a heart, vibrating rhythmically. The frequency of that vibration was similar to a heartbeat, but much stronger. Every time it vibrated, the soil around it would vibrate like a drum. It should not be a normal medicine. Let's pick it first. Yi Chen could tell that the black flower had already matured, and picking it would not harm the medicine. Plus, if he just left it there, the sky demon snake's wounds would continue to recover. Rumble. No one knew when, but the sky demon snake had caught up. Seeing that Yi Chen had discovered the black flower, it roared extremely shrilly. Its evil eyes were filled with killing intent, which was the killing intent of the demon dragon's bloodline. After such a long time of accumulation, that killing intent had finally exploded. The ground was burnt through, and the black flame turned into a horrifying demon dragon's shape, sweeping out. Even if it were Yi Chen, he would be killed immediately without any chance of survival. Chapter 3:11. Being underground, Yi Chen's dodging speed would definitely be affected. Seeing the black flame coming at him like an evil demon dragon, Yi Chen stomped on the ground with his back facing the black flower, holding his Starscar sword with both of his hands. Green Lotus Light. This attack focused more on defense than offense. A bathtub-sized green lotus appeared and gathered on the blade of the Starscar sword, covering Yi Chen's whole body. Boom. The black flame could burn anything, but the thickness and defense of the green lotus could not be underestimated either. All of a sudden, there was a subtle balance between the two. No matter how aggressive the flame was, it could not break through Yi Chen's sword attack defense right away, and could only slowly erode it. Seeing that its ace attack could not do anything to Yi Chen, a murderous light flashed through the sky demon snake's eyes. A black flame appeared on its tail as well, looking like a burning fire column. As it swept across, the air in the whole cave had been burned into nothingness, and the resistance had been reduced to an extreme. Boom! The green lotus exploded, and Yi Chen was blown away. However, this result was obviously within his expectation. As he was flying backward, he made a grabbing gesture in the air. That basin-sized black flower was pulled out by the roots, falling into his storage ring. Once the black flower disappeared, the black qi had become the source of everything. The first one to sense it was naturally the sky demon snake. It opened its mouth and let out an ear-piercing scream, which was filled with anger that it had never felt before. Yi Chen had stopped it from killing and trapped it in the Silent Hills, but it had not lost its mind yet. However, the black flower was its life, the key to its growth. Once it was taken away, it would be impossible for it to grow fast, which would be the same as cutting off its potential. Therefore, at that moment, the sky demon snake had completely lost its mind. The remaining black flame inside its body continued to pour out, covering Yi Chen and the cave. Break. Throwing out a sword attack, a tiny crack appeared in the black flame. Yi Chen pushed his separating shadow flying art to its limit. After flashing once, he jumped out of the crack and landed on the ground. The sky demon snake jumped right after him, carrying the burning flame towards Yi Chen. It looked like it would not stop until it was dead. No one could stop it. Let's see how long you can last without this flower. Since his green lotus Zhenyuan had been used up, Yi Chen could not hurt the sky demon snake with one attack. However, the black flame was not endless, so Yi Chen was not afraid of anything happening to himself. Stepping lightly on the ground, Yi Chen soared into the sky and turned into a wisp of black smoke. A man and a beast chased each other. Wherever they went, mountains would collapse, forests would be destroyed, and the ground would be plowed open with a 10-meter wide and infinitely long mark. Getting out of the Silent Hills, the sky demon snake suddenly gave up on chasing Yi Chen. Instead, it flew towards the nearby cities, its eyes filled with cruelty. Yi Chen was a little dazed, but he soon realized what the sky demon snake was thinking. It was planning to slaughter humans and force him to give up the black flower. If he could not do anything to it, then he would indeed be in a dilemma. If he did not give up the flower, then 1 or 2 cities would definitely be destroyed. If he gave up the flower, then he would be helping a tyrant. The brutality of the sky demon snake had been proven in history. Every time a sky demon snake grew up, countless creatures would be killed. This kind of beast was closer to a demon, and had a horrifying evil nature inside of it. This time, they had Yi Chen. Without him, no one knew what would have happened to the Sky Cloud Martial School. With just Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer, they could only delay it for a while. A rank 7 beast is coming. Run. There would be big and small battles happening outside the city every day. There were quite a lot of disciples from all of the big parties. Seeing the sky demon snake approaching them aggressively, everyone was shocked. It was impossible for them not to know how horrifying a rank 7 beast was. In fact, even an astral reaching realm warrior would not be able to compete with a rank 7 beast at the same level. Plus, this rank 7 beast seemed to be even more horrifying than the rumors. It was covered in black flames, looking like a demon that had just crawled out of hell. I was planning to spend more time with you. But since it is like this, then I will have to kill you now. Yi Chen looked cold. It was not that he could not beat the sky demon snake. Even without his green lotus Zhenyuan, the sky demon snake would still not be able to compete with him. At most, it would be a bit more troublesome. But before this, he had planned to use the sky demon snake as a long-term training target. Once he reached the astral reaching realm, he would be able to take it out easily. However, the sky demon snake's brutality and cunningness were still out of his expectation. It knew how to kill humans to force him to submit. Looking at the countless human warriors outside the city, the sky demon snake's pupils turned red. It had been a long time since it had seen blood. As a sky demon snake, killing was its instinct. Especially after reaching rank 7, its killing instinct had become harder and harder to control. It had been hiding in the Silent Hills, hoping that one day, it could grow up in blood. Boom! The ground had been shattered. The sky demon snake moved over quickly as it opened its mouth and shot out a beam of dark light. Blood explosion spell. Cut. Performing the ace movement of the minor blood demon body separating great art, Yi Chen's speed had been pushed to its limit. He appeared in front of the dark light and shattered it with one sword attack. The sky demon snake stared at Yi Chen brutally. As a beast, it had made up its mind to take back the sky demon flower. Even if it did not care about the fact that eating the sky demon flower would bring a huge backlash to its body, it still wanted to kill Yi Chen and his martial school. This was the consequence of pissing it off. You are looking for death. Yi Chen floated in the air as his 80% sword intent spread out. Combined with the half-step Shen Yuan that had been activated by the blood explosion spell, his aura had been pushed to its limit. It was as if his whole body had turned into a blood sword, and the surrounding air had also turned into a blood sword, locking onto the sky demon snake's every move. It is him. Outside of the city, there were 5 people who had noticed Yi Chen. These 5 people were none other than the 5 disciples from the Golden Light Martial School that Yi Chen had met when he first entered the Silent Hills as an outer disciple. The leading 2 people were Liu Dao and Wang Haichuan, followed by the girl in red, Yarou Qing, and the twin brothers, Yang Wen and Yang Wu. Right now, Liu Dao and Wang Haichuan were both core disciples of the Golden Light Martial School, and they were both at the peak of the mid-condensing reality realm. The girl in red, Yarou Qing, and the twins were all inner disciples at the peak of the early condensing reality realm. In the Golden Light Martial School, they had made quite good progress. Unfortunately, in the Sky Cloud Martial School, they would only be above average. They were not geniuses at all. This was the difference between a ranked martial school and a non-ranked martial school. Plus, the Sky Cloud Martial School was not something a rank 9 martial school could compare with anymore. It had the potential to become a rank 7 martial school. Liu Dao was shocked. Back then, his cultivation was not even as high as mine, but now he could already fight against rank 7 beasts. Could it be that he is the legendary genius in the Windy Nation? There were a lot of people with the same name in the Windy Nation, but none of them had ever associated Yi Chen with the legendary genius. Plus, after such a long time, they had almost forgotten about what had happened in the Silent Hills. They would never think that Yi Chen was the most talented genius in the Windy Nation, or even the South Rudra region. It has only been 4 years, and the gap has become so huge. Compared to before, the impulsive Wang Haichuan was much calmer now. His face was full of determination, and his battling power had surpassed Liu Dao. He was the backbone of the 5. Taking a deep breath, he calmed himself down first. Yarou Qing made a face. It has been 4 years, and he has not even come to us once. What a heartless man. The twin brother Yang Wu forced a smile. If he had nothing to do, he would not have made it this far. Xiao Wu is right. The power of a genius comes with a price. We are not geniuses, but we are not as hardworking as him. The twin brother Yang Wen nodded. Yarou Qing said, "Do you think he will just ignore us if we go to him?" Hearing her, the 4 of them forced a smile. They had only met Yi Chen by chance, and it was their honor to have fought alongside him. So, they would not dare to disturb him. Green Lotus Mountain. The blood explosion spell had increased Yi Chen's battling power by more than 80%. With one sword attack, he had wounded the sky demon snake. That blood-red sword chi left a horrifying sword mark on its body. Roar. The sky demon snake hid in the black flame and threw out a tail attack. Shadow explosion. Human shadows flashed as Yi Chen's real body appeared above the sky demon snake within a second. The ace movement of his green lotus sword art was thrown down. Crack. A bloody hole appeared on the sky demon snake's forehead, and blood kept pouring out. Piss off. His body flashed again, and Yi Chen appeared right in front of the sky demon snake's chin. He threw out a sword attack, and that blood-red, fire-like sword light appeared. It had blown the sky demon snake hundreds of meters away, creating a huge pit on the ground. It was dozens of meters deep and dozens of meters wide. He is completely dominating a rank 7 beast. So powerful. Of course, Yi Chen is the great master of our Sky Cloud Martial School. Hearing him, all the disciples of the Sky Cloud Martial School looked proud. They felt lucky to be a disciple of the Sky Cloud Martial School. Right now, in the Windy Nation, which young generation did not want to join the Sky Cloud Martial School? The black flame inside the Sky Demon Snake's body was not endless. Without the Sky Demon flower, it would be extremely hard for it to gather the black flame again. After all, it had just reached the level not long ago, and did not know much about the power of a rank 7 beast yet. There was just too little information about the black flame. Without the black flame, the Sky Demon Snake had completely become a powerful rank 7 beast. Its defense was only equivalent to a rank 7 tyrant beast, and its overall power had dropped by 1 level. It tried to run away, but was stabbed into the ground by Yi Chen's sword attack. As it lost more and more blood, its physical strength started to run out. Eventually, it roared into the sky and exploded. Rumble. That horrifying chi wave blew away Yi Chen, who had backed out far away. After backing out not far away from the city wall, Yi Chen forced a smile. A rank 7 tyrant beast was only equivalent to a powerful mid-astral reaching realm warrior, but it had not reached the peak level yet. On the other hand, without the black flame, the sky demon snake's overall power was actually not as powerful as a rank 7 tyrant beast. However, Yi Chen still could not kill it within a short period of time. It was not hard to tell how powerful the sky demon snake was. Once it grew up, it would definitely become a tyrant among the rank 7 tyrant beasts. It would be powerful enough to fight against a peak-level mid-astral reaching realm warrior, and even a late astral reaching realm warrior would not be able to kill it easily. Yi Chen. Right then, a clear voice was heard from afar. Yi Chen turned his head to look, and a smile appeared on his face. "It's you guys. Long time no see." Yarrow Qing was surprised. "You still remember us?" "Of course." Chapter 312. After releasing the blood explosion spell, Yi Chen felt that the blood sunflower's medicinal power that was hidden in the deepest part of his body had completely disappeared. He felt a bit uncomfortable, so he shook his head and laughed. "It's been more than 4 years, and the 5 of you are still together." Liu Dao was obviously happy that Yi Chen did not ignore them. "If we are together, we will always be together, unless something unexpected happens." Luckily, other than some small conflicts, there were no accidents. Yarrow Qing was more beautiful than 4 years ago. Although she was not as pretty as the girls that Yi Chen had met before, such as Murong Qingcheng, Xu Jing, Ji Xueyan, Zhu Mai, and Yuan Xuemei, she was still a beauty. She was still wearing a red dress, and under the dress, her curvaceous body was filled with the vitality of a girl next door. She looked at Yi Chen curiously. "Strange, you don't even have 3 heads and 6 arms. Why is there such a big gap between us? But the trick of the sword art that you taught me was really good. I am much better than others with the same sword art." Yi Chen smiled. At that time, he was a bit perfunctory. Of course, the method was right, but it was a bit stupid. "Greetings, Great Master." "Great Master, my name is Song Hai." "Great Master, what can I do for you?" While the 6 of them were talking, the disciples of the Sky Cloud Martial School all ran over to greet them, causing Liu Dao and the other 4 to be dumbfounded. They were all the same age, but they were already great elders, and their status was even higher than the patriarch. "It is fate that brought us together. I don't have anything good to give you, but here are 5 bottles of pellets that are useful for training, which will help you break through." He was the great master of the Sky Cloud Martial School, and the leader of the Golden Light Martial School used to be a disciple of the Sky Cloud Martial School. Therefore, the 5 of them were technically his juniors, so it was not good to meet them empty-handed. Luckily, when Yi Chen was training outside, he had bought a lot of pellets. These 5 bottles of pellets were not that expensive for him, but they still cost 1,000 low-rank soulstones, which most of the outer masters could not afford. The 5 of them declined and accepted it. Anything that could make Yi Chen give it to them couldn't be bad. They had no reason to refuse. After bidding farewell to the 5, Yi Chen flew towards the Sky Cloud Martial School. Idle Cloud Peak. Cloud Dreamer looked at the black flower that Yi Chen took out and shook his head, indicating that he did not know the name of the flower. Thunder Freer looked confused, and said slowly, "Is this the Sky Demon flower?" "Sky Demon flower?" Yi Chen and Cloud Dreamer looked at Thunder Freer. Thunder Freer said, "I have heard people describe the Sky Demon flower before, but I am not sure if it is. But if it is, then it would be shocking. The Sky Demon flower is a supreme spirit medicine that is extremely rare in the world. According to the legends, it was made from the blood of the ancient Demon King, who was way more powerful than the current life and death realm warriors. He was not weaker than Shu King, and his spirit blood was way more powerful than Shu King's. His spirit blood had the horrifying effect of reviving people from the dead. As long as there was one breath left in the body, it would be able to heal completely. It was way more powerful than the so-called great healing medicine. I think the sky demon snake and the sky demon flower are only one word apart, but they are more or less related. Not many people knew about the sky demon snake guarding the sky demon flower. Sometimes, the sky demon snake might not even show up with the sky demon flower. Therefore, Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer were obviously not as knowledgeable as the people from the super martial institutions. It was normal for them to not know about it. Can broken bones be healed? Yi Chen asked. Thunder Freer laughed. Of course, as long as there was one breath left in the body, it would be healed completely. Plus, it would make the body even more powerful. But, do not swallow it directly. The medicinal power of the sky demon flower is very aggressive, and the backfire is even more horrifying. Only those who have trained the ancient demon king's martial arts would be able to swallow it directly. Other people or demonic beasts could die from the backfire. I think this is also the reason why the sky demon snake did not dare to swallow it. Otherwise, it would have swallowed it directly. Yi Chen nodded. Indeed, he had been wondering why the sky demon snake did not swallow the sky demon flower. Normally, once the spirit medicine that the demonic beasts were guarding matured, they would swallow it immediately in case something bad happened. However, the sky demon snake did not do that. As for that ghost-faced demonic cow, it should have been attracted by the sky demon flower. Unfortunately, it did not enjoy the effects of the flower, and died in Yi Chen's hands. If we do not swallow it, then how are we going to use the sky demon flower? Absorbing its medicinal power from the outside should not be a problem. But, it is still a bit of a waste for the sky demon flower to fall into our hands. Its true value is not only the medicinal power, but also the mystery it contains. After reaching the life and death realm, the Jin Yuan would have already merged with the flesh and blood. Every single drop of essence blood would have the trace of the ancient demon king. For some of the powerful demonic warriors, a sky demon flower could save them a lot of trouble, which is something that the medicinal power alone could not compare with. What a pity, what a pity. Thunder Freer shook his head. Yi Chen still did not know why the essence blood of the ancient demon king would turn into the sky demon flower, and how it had been passed down until now. But, he did not care about these things. No matter how mysterious the sky demon flower was, it did not matter to him at all. All he needed was its medicinal power. Senior Cloud Dreamer, Senior Thunder Freer, you can each take a petal of the sky demon flower. The sky demon flower was extremely heavy. Yi Chen used his half-step Jin Yuan to cut off 2 petals with all his might, handing them to Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer respectively. Cloud Dreamer was shocked. You want to give it to us? This thing can only be found by luck. There are only 10 petals on one plant. Yi Chen said, since the sky demon flower can heal the dead, it will definitely be useful in the future. The Sky Cloud Martial School still needs you two to control the situation. Yi Chen was telling the truth. In the future, when he was not in the Sky Cloud Martial School, the school would have to rely on the two of them. Without some life-saving means, he would not be able to rest assured. All right then, I will keep it for you for now. Cloud Dreamer knew Yi Chen's temperament very well. There was no way he would take back something he had already given out. If he continued to decline, it would seem like he was treating him like an outsider. Leaving the Cloud Dreamer Mountain, Yi Chen arrived at Shu Jing's mountain. Core Master Palace, Shu Jing frowned. This thing can cure my arms? It should be right. You try it first. Yi Chen took out 3 petals and handed them to Shu Jing, keeping 5 for emergencies. All right. Shu Jing held one of the petals in her hand. Her Zhen Qi poured out through her meridians, sweeping towards the black Qi coming out from the petals. Crack. Vaguely, Yi Chen heard the sound of bones rubbing against each other in Shu Jing's right arm. He scanned with his soul power and immediately found out that Shu Jing's shattered bones were getting back together. At the edge of the bones, the black Qi was like a magnet, attracting other bones towards it. It is indeed the Sky Demon Flower. Its effect is so powerful. Yi Chen finally confirmed the name of the black flower. It was undoubtedly the Sky Demon Flower that Thunder Freer had mentioned. Even if it was not, it could at least prove that it could cure broken bones. Xu Jing seemed to be very surprised. Only the black qi from one petal had increased the recovery speed of her broken bones by dozens of times. Moreover, the broken bones and the flesh of her arm seemed to be even stronger and stronger after being infected by that qi. You take your time to recover. If it is not enough, I still have more. Yi Chen saw that the sky demon flower petal was effective, so he did not keep it anymore. Xu Jing nodded and put away the other two heavenly demon flower petals. Next, walking out of the core master palace and tried to reach the 13th realm of his green lotus sword spell and the astral reaching realm. Once he had achieved both of his goals, he was ready to go to the natural moat gorge and see if he could learn something from the Battle King's sword intent. He wanted to try to reach 90% of his sword intent, or even complete it. With the completion of his sword intent, he should be able to fight against Jin Huang, and would no longer be afraid of him. Once he made more progress, it would be the day that Jin Huang died. Inside the training room on the shocking Cloud Mountain, Yi Chen took out a sky demon flower petal and placed it on his palm. He pushed his half-step Shen Yuan, absorbing the medicine inside. Crack! Yi Chen could clearly feel that his body was getting tougher and tougher, and his bones were getting denser and denser. At the same time, the side effects of performing the blood explosion spell had disappeared as well. The effect was even more powerful than the 3,000 years old blood sunflower. However, the blood sunflower focused on the qi and blood, while the sky demon flower focused on the whole body. The two focused on different things. So, the blood sunflower was still not comparable to the sky demon flower in terms of replenishing the qi and blood. After a while, Yi Chen could no longer handle any more of the sky demon flower's medicine. His body had reached a limit. If he wanted to break through this limit, he would have to change his body training art or reach the astral reaching realm, which would increase his body quality drastically. However, his current body quality did not seem to be weaker than astral reaching realm warriors. Xu Jing's body quality was basically a couple of times more powerful than normal astral reaching realm warriors. Putting away the sky demon flower petal, Yi Chen closed his eyes and focused on training the green lotus sword spell. The green lotus sword spell was a top-rank earth realm martial art. After reaching the 10th realm, the battling power would increase drastically with each realm. The difference between the 12th realm and the 13th realm was especially obvious. As for the 14th realm, Yi Chen did not dare to think about it right now, since the 14th realm would be a transformation. It would be able to combine the 9 green lotus sword qi into one even more horrifying lotus heart sword qi, which would definitely be more powerful than any of Yi Chen's sword attacks. Correspondingly, it would be even harder to break through to the 14th realm. The 13th realm of a top-rank earth realm martial art would be the limit. The 14th realm would be beyond this limit. The 15th realm would be the highest realm. Even Sea of Souls realm warriors might not be able to reach it. Once they reached this realm, battling beyond their realms would be no different than eating and drinking. Eating the rice bit by bit, Yi Chen cleared away all the distracting thoughts, preparing himself for the 13th realm. Time flowed like water, and there was no turning back. Ever since the sky demon snake and the sky demon flower disappeared, the beast wave that had been plaguing the Sky Cloud Martial School for thousands of miles had suddenly stopped. Only a few beasts were still active in the human area. Half a year later, the shocking Cloud Mountain where Yi Chen was at released a wave of intense sharp qi, which pierced through the clouds and attracted the attention of the whole Sky Cloud Martial School. The fist that contained half-step Shen Yuan shot out, tearing a crack in the air. It was as fast as lightning and as heavy as a mountain. Half-step Shen Yuan, no, it should be fake Shen Yuan. Its destructive power is not to be underestimated. That punch just now had not contained any sort of martial skill. Just by relying on fake true essence, it had been able to tear open a vacuum crack in the air. This was already infinitely close to the destructive power of true essence. With a wave of his hand, the door of the secret room opened wide. Yi Chen stood up and flew out through the passage. Idle Cloud Peak. Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freya were both there. Brother Yi, what's the progress this time? Thunder Freya laughed and said. The clouds moved away automatically, and Yi Chen landed on the peak. The two seniors should have already guessed it. Haha, your cultivation speed really makes me blush with shame, ashamed of my inferiority. Although Yi Chen called them seniors, they did not dare to treat him as a junior. They treated him as an equal. Cloud Dreamer waved his hand, and a nearby stone chair moved over. Then, he poured Yi Chen another cup of wine. Yi Chen sat on the stone chair and asked, "Has anything happened in the past half a year?" Cloud Dreamer said, "According to our people, Xikong Sheng had reached the astral reaching realm 5 months ago and became an inner master of the floating mountain martial school. This had a huge impact. A lot of famous astral reaching realm warriors had gone to congratulate him, including the great master of the Purple Sun Martial School, the Fireman, and a great master of the Emerald Martial School. As for Xikong Sheng reaching the astral reaching realm, Yi Chen was not too surprised. He had already reached half-step Zhen Yuan during the Hidden Dragon rank competition. After 2 years, he should be an astral reaching realm warrior. As for the great master of the Purple Sun Martial School, Yi Chen had some doubts. Doesn't he need to stay in the Purple Sun Martial School? Thunder Freer forced a laugh. That old bastard Fireman had also traveled in the South Rudra region before. He had met 4 powerful warriors. They were the Gold Spearman, the Woodman, the Lake Man, and the Mountain Man. The 5 of them had titles that contained the elements of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. They were called the 5 Nature Men. Not long after Xikong Sheng reached the astral reaching realm, the Gold Spearman and the Lake Man came to the Purple Sun Martial School as guests and helped him stay there. 5 Nature Men, Yi Chen mumbled. Soon, our Sky Cloud Martial School will have 3 astral reaching realm warriors. Come, let's drink. Cloud Dreamer was not too worried about the power of the Purple Sun Martial School. One Yi Chen could fight against 2 or 3 astral reaching realm warriors. Plus, Yi Chen's potential was still far from exploding. No one knew how far he could go in the future. In the following days, nothing happened. Yi Chen had reached the 13th level of the Green Lotus sword spell, and the second Zhen Yuan refinement was about to end. Yi Chen did not need to go into closed-door training. Zhen Yuan refinement was something that would happen naturally, and had nothing to do with comprehension ability. When the time came, he would naturally become an astral reaching realm warrior. After all, his foundation was there, so he would not be too slow. On this day, Yi Chen was comprehending the poetic perspective of clouds. After integrating the 6th movement of the sky-shattering clouds, Yi Chen felt a huge obstruction, as if there was an invisible barrier in front of him. The shocking cloud sword art has a total of 9 movements. After integrating the 6th movement, it would be equivalent to a top-rank Earth Realm sword movement. The 7th movement should be similar to the 2nd movement of the Green Lotus sword art. The 8th movement would almost touch the edge of a Heaven Realm sword movement. It would be the limit of the poetic perspective, the limit of the moves. I wonder how I can make it through. By now, Yi Chen had already understood that Heaven Realm martial arts were not something that could be learned with high comprehension ability. Without reaching that level, there would not be a point of convergence. Woo! Taking a deep breath, Yi Chen waved his sword and slashed out a sword path in the sea of clouds. The sword path was more than 1,000 meters long, which split open a short mountain in front of him. Thunder exploded, and clouds surged. My mastery of the poetic perspective is already not weaker than most of the astral reaching realm warriors. What I lack is accumulation. With enough accumulation, it would be a lot easier to comprehend. It seems like only by going out to train would one be able to grow faster. Staying in one place would have some limitations after all. Everything needed a process of accumulation. Even a top martial genius would not be able to truly grow without enough accumulation. It was like an extremely smart person. If he or she had not studied for a few years and experienced a lot of things, then he or she would not be able to fully utilize his or her intelligence. He or she would have to rely on his or her brain to do some smart things. No need to rush. My martial arts are still above my cultivation. There is no need to rush. Putting his Starscar sword back into its scabbard, Yi Chen's mood was as calm as still water. Haha, I, the Fireman, have arrived. Why is no one coming out to greet me? Are all the people from the Sky Cloud Martial School dead? In front of the Sky Cloud Martial School, Dozens of human shadows flew over. The two leading people had a very powerful aura. The one on the right had an unbreakable aura, while the one on the left had a very aggressive aura. It was indeed the great master of the Purple Sun Martial School, the Fireman. He made a face. I thought the Sky Cloud Martial School would have some powerful warriors, but it is only a peak-level early astral reaching realm warrior. Fireman, you have not destroyed the Sky Cloud Martial School after all these years. You are too kind. If it were not for the others, how could the Sky Cloud Martial School be so arrogant? Now, there is no one in the Purple Sun Martial School. A killing intent flashed through the Fireman's eyes. The Gold Spear Man chuckled. He glanced at the masters of the Sky Cloud Martial School casually. Suddenly, his eyes brightened, landing on the inner master Zhu Mai and the core master Xu Jing. Fireman, you did not say that the Sky Cloud Martial School had people like this, especially that woman in white. She is rare even in the South Rudra region. The Gold Spear Man licked his lips. The Cloud Dreamer saw that these two people were acting like they were his own family, and did not care about them at all. He looked a bit gloomy. However, thinking that they would not come here for no reason, he suppressed his unhappiness and asked, I wonder why you two are here. If there is nothing, please leave. The Fireman said, of course I am here for something. But, is this how you treat your guests? You want us to talk in the square? This way, please. Luo Xinglia lifted the corner of his mouth. The Fireman waved his sleeves and walked in the front. The Gold Spear Man walked side by side with him. When they passed by the crowd, he glanced at Xu Jing on purpose. There was an evil light shining in his eyes. Chapter 314. In the main mountain hall, the main seat was empty. The left side of the hall was occupied by Cloud Dreamer and Luo Xinglia, while the right side was occupied by the Fireman and the Gold Spear Man. The rest of the people were outside. The Fireman took a sip of the tea slowly and exchanged a look with the Gold Spear Man. He said slowly, don't say that I did not take care of your Sky Cloud Martial School. This time, I came all the way here to show you enough respect. Unfortunately, some people do not know what is good for them. Cloud Dreamer frowned, waiting for the Fireman to continue. Putting down the teacup, the Fireman said, our intelligence team from the Purple Sun Martial School has found the nest of the Corpse Man. What? The nest of the Corpse Man? Cloud Dreamer's expression changed. The Corpse Man was one of the 108 ghost warriors from the 9 Ghost cult. He was very famous for killing people. It would not be wrong to call him the Old Monster. Countless powerful warriors from the top 5 martial institutions of the Windy Nation had died in his hands, including a couple of astral-reaching realm warriors. So what? After all these years, the Corpse Man's power should have recovered to its peak. Plus, with his special power, even all of the astral-reaching realm warriors in the Windy Nation combined would not be his opponent. Although the Corpse Man's battling power was the lowest among the 108 ghost warriors, he had the power to create zombies. With 3 to 4 rank 7 zombies attacking together, even astral-reaching realm warriors who were more powerful than him would not be able to handle it, and would be killed easily. His name was very famous, and people called him the Corpse Man. Since I am here, of course, I have the confidence to kill this old monster. The Fireman looked like he was going to win as he continued, back in the days when I was traveling, I met 4 friends who had the same goal. Right now, 2 of them are here. One is the Gold Spear Man, and the other is the Mountain Man. Unfortunately, the Lake Man and the Deadwood Man could not come. Otherwise, with them here, killing the Corpse Man would be as easy as pie. Cloud Dreamer glanced at the Gold Spear Man. He could naturally tell that the latter was the same as the Fireman, also a mid-astral reaching realm warrior. According to the rumors, among the 5, the Deadwood Man was the most powerful one, being a late astral reaching realm warrior. He knew an ancient martial art called the Deadwood Palm Spell. Judging purely on battling power, he might not lose to the Ghost Man. Although the Lake Man was not as powerful, he was still a peak-level mid-astral reaching realm warrior. However, no one would dare to underestimate the Ghost Man's ace attack, the rank 7 zombie warrior. How did you know about the nest of the Corpse Man? Cloud Dreamer stared at the Fireman without blinking. It was not that he did not trust him, but it was because the Sky Cloud Martial School had been set up way too badly back then. His brother disciple Wu Yunzi had died because of that. He did not have any proof, but he was sure that the Purple Sun Martial School had something to do with it. The fireman sneered, "It is up to you whether you want to believe it or not. If the Nine Evil cult wants to grow stronger again, they will need a lot of resources. The top 5 martial institutions control more than 80% of the resources in the Windy Nation, and there are no other powerful martial institutions around. In their eyes, we are just a piece of meat without any defense." Cloud Dreamer's expression changed a couple of times. The fireman was right. If the Nine Evil cult wanted to make a comeback, they would need a lot of resources. But they were hiding in the dark, and could not take all of the resources in public. Once they showed up, they would be attacked by all of the powerful parties in the South Rudra region. Therefore, they could only do it secretly, not daring to show their faces. Although they could get a lot of resources from some lone warriors, those resources would not be enough to support them for a long time. The resources in the Windy Nation seemed to be nothing special, but it was still a nation after all. The resources of a nation would be more than enough to support the development of the Ghost Corpse Mountain. Plus, it would not be that dangerous. He believed that there would also be other small nations with the 9 evil cults remaining members, so the Windy Nation would not be the only one. If they did not attack first, when the Corpse Man decided to attack, one martial institution would not be able to handle the invasion of the Ghost Corpse Mountain. The problem was that the fireman's words could not be trusted completely. First of all, he was the first one to know about the location of the Corpse Man's nest, which was already suspicious. He was not like his brother disciple Wu Yunzi, who had been able to stay in the Sky Cloud Martial School for so many years and watch the development of the Sky Cloud Martial School. Then how do you think we should deal with it? The Corpse Man is not easy to deal with. Being able to survive that big battle years ago, it is already enough to prove how powerful he is. Cloud Dreamer did not know if he should accept it or not. If he accepted it, he might be ambushed by the fireman. He did not believe that there was nothing wrong with it. If he did not accept it, then the Corpse Man would indeed be a big problem. Who knew when he would decide to attack the Sky Cloud Martial School first? Although the Sky Cloud Martial School had martial geniuses like Yi Chen, who was able to kill the Sky Demon Snake with only half-step Zhen Yuan, the Corpse Man was a late astral reaching realm warrior. He was a cunning demon. The fireman took a sip of tea casually, seeming to want to hear how the Cloud Dreamer would respond. The Cloud Dreamer did not change his expression and said, "You can try if you have the chance. If you two do not have anything else to say, you can leave now. Since the owner has asked us to leave, then we should not stay. Brother Gold, let's go back first." The fireman did not plan to stay any longer. The Gold Spearman stood up with the fireman. He glanced at Shu Jing, who was standing outside the palace. He suddenly opened his mouth and said to the Cloud Dreamer, "I do not have a wife yet. I think that master from your Sky Cloud Martial School is not bad. She is qualified to be my wife. I wonder if I, the Gold Spearman, would have the honor." Both the Cloud Dreamer and Luo Xinglia did not look good. This Gold Spearman was way too arrogant. He really thought that he was invincible. Plus, Shu Jing and Yi Chen had a close relationship. Whoever dared to touch her would probably be killed by Yi Chen. Don't even think about it. The Cloud Dreamer did not look happy at all. The Gold Spearman had a creepy smile on his face. "I suggest you guys think about it. I am not like the fireman, who is kind." The Cloud Dreamer yelled, "Don't push it too far. The Sky Cloud Martial School is not a place for you to do whatever you want. Brother Gold, the road to happiness is strewn with setbacks. Why do you have to rush it? What is yours will be yours eventually." The fireman did not expect the Gold Spearman to be this eager and say this in front of everyone. He could only try to comfort him, telling him to take it slow. The road to happiness is strewn with setbacks. Not bad. I, the Gold Spearman, am definitely going to have this woman. The Gold Spearman laughed and walked out of the palace with the fireman. "Who allowed you to leave?" Right then, the crowd split apart and someone walked over. It was none other than Yi Chen. Yi Chen was wearing a blue robe with a long sword on his waist. He stood 10 steps in front of the two quietly. His eyes landed on the gold spearman and the fireman. The fireman glanced at Yi Chen and noticed that he was still at the Zhen Yuan refining stage. A strong killing intent flashed through his mind as he said with a smile on his face, "Not bad. You have already reached the Zhen Yuan refining stage at such a young age. You are not that far away from the astral reaching realm. However, you are not that talented. Before a martial genius grows up, you should be more patient. Do not ruin your own life." "So you are Yi Chen? You are nothing special. What? Do you think you can stop us? I will give you a chance. Slap yourself 4 times. Otherwise, I will teach you a lesson today." The gold spearman did not care about Yi Chen at all. If it were not for the fireman warning him to be careful of powerful warriors helping him, he would not have talked much with him. He would have just killed him directly. Things are different now. The Windy Nation is no longer a place where you can call the shots. If you had come here and left just like that, I would have let it go. Unfortunately, you think too highly of yourselves. As long as I, Yi Chen, am here, there is no place for you to mess around. In Yi Chen's plan, the Purple Sun Martial School was the place he had to go. Although the assassination before did not really hurt him, it did not mean that he did not care about it. Seeing the situation, Cloud Dreamer wanted to say something, but he swallowed it back down. He knew Yi Chen's personality very well. Since he had stood out, there was no need for him to go back. Plus, these two were indeed too arrogant. The only thing that worried him was how powerful Yi Chen's battling power was. 2 powerful mid-astral reaching realm warriors would not be a joke, especially this gold spearman who had just appeared out of nowhere. He gave Luo Xinglia a look and took a couple of steps back. He planned to leave the situation to Yi Chen, and the others should not interfere. Haha, I, the gold spearman, have been out there for so many years, and this is the first time I have seen a young warrior talk to me like this. Brat, you are the first. The gold spearman laughed out loud. His whole body shone with a golden light, which was extremely pure, carrying an unbreakable aura. Senior Cloud Dreamer, I will kill this guy. There was no emotion on Yi Chen's face. He had already known about what had happened in the palace. If he had guessed it right, there must have been some kind of conspiracy. Facing a conspiracy, his way of doing things was different from normal people, which was to kill as fast as possible. He would kill as many as he could, since he would have to kill those people from the Purple Sun Martial School sooner or later anyway. As for the mission of killing the corpse man, he would not miss out on it. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.